Fine. I need
Okay, we're ready.
our buds.
Hi, friends. Just got 12 o'clock and we have a 12 o'clock appointment, right?
Who said, what's her name? The lady that did that. She was the one that was behind, not the MRA. She was a coach. She was the originator of Keller Williams. Who said that?
Diana Kokoska,
Yes,
Ah,
she would always say that.
the first maps person, and she started Bold.
That's
Yes.
it, that's it, yeah.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember how she was worked. Anyway, go ahead.
Yes,
Yes,
yes.
we have an appointment. Go ahead.
And we have an appointment, so we're gonna get started. So far, how are we doing, friends?
I think pretty good.
Good?
Learning a lot of stuff to apply, learning a lot of stuff to like write down and get to it within the next week or two.
Okay.
Like all the places to go research what the market is doing.
Mhm. Big one is come to team meeting. Come to team meeting, listen to what they have to say. Plug into different things like podcasts, like the One Thing podcast, the MREA podcast, the Bigger Pockets is always great for investing. Housing Wire is another really good website.
Okay.
Educate yourself so that you can educate others.
Yes.
Most people are misinformed. Okay, so any activity so far? Anybody got an appointment from their actions of what they've applied?
I got one appointment,
Good.
Way to go.
yeah, and potentially 2 or 3 more. So
Fantastic. Okay, so that's case in point. You take what you learn and then go apply it, right? So the worst thing you could possibly do to me and Amy is to take this information and do nothing with it. Okay, so respect yourself, respect each other, respect Amy. You don't have to respect me. I'm just kidding. Totally respect me too. Anywho, so if anybody's got cards that are ready to go, I will take them upstairs. If they're not ready, I will pick them up after class today. Are these all ready to go?
These are, did you get those cards I left on the desk the other day?
Uh-huh, yeah.
So,
Yeah.
okay, cool.
Fantastic. So this is your time for free mail, right? So
Yeah, okay.
if you're online, please bring in your envelopes so that you can get new ones and that I can mail them off for you. Are you friends ready to get going?
Yeah, I'm excited.
All right, Amy, they're all yours. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
2 addresses
Oh,
I can send you if you want to key in your
Yeah.
email there. You
Where'd
can,
everybody go? What'd you do to them yesterday, Amy?
No, I think it's Friday, you know.
Oh, it's because I wasn't
Some
here.
people on
everybody.
Fridays.
It was because I wasn't here. That's what it was. Everybody thought, well, if he could go, I don't have to come back either,
Yeah,
right?
Maybe.
Now that- Don't you wish the world was based around me?
Oh. Just a little bit. All right, so today we're going to talk about defining our value. Throughout the week, we've talked a lot about Keller Williams value and the resources that they provide and how they back us up and give us value. And today we're going to talk about defining our own value. So in session 1, we mentioned that at the end of our first segment, real estate agent of choice, we would conclude with an action plan. That plan is to design your value proposition. In today's session, we'll discuss what a value proposition is and the benefits of having one. We'll also discuss how to define your own value proposition by uncovering what makes you uniquely qualified to meet your customers' needs. Knowing this, you'll create your value proposition, practice it, and begin to use it in conversations with potential clients. So we just heard a definition of value proposition. How would you guys define value proposition?
You know, could I ask you to read that value proposition one more time? I was somewhere lost in.
So
another world.
they have described it as uncovering what makes you uniquely qualified to meet your customers' needs.
Okay.
a quality or characteristic. Would that be part of?
Let's say what sets you apart from the rest.
What sets you apart from the rest, which would be your unique qualities and characteristics.
I wonder if caring doesn't really fit. I mean, everybody cares, don't they?
No, they don't.
But people care in different ways. They have different motivations.
And then persistence and commitment, experience, yeah, okay. What sets me apart?
Hey Liliana, I think you can just unmute yourself.
Well, I don't want to be a rude talk over you, but I went to see after class, I went to see one of my favorite lenders yesterday is Community Mortgage Brokers. And they're having an event
Sorry, go ahead, I'm trying.
on the information for all the agents. So I thought the new agents can go there and they're gonna have food and drinks. You can meet other agents from other brokers also. And they're gonna have a photographer there to take pictures for like free shots for you guys. So that's like, you know, takes you $300 rather. And it's from 1 to 4 Hotel Vantage downtown. I don't know where that is.
Is the date?
And Vantage, Vantage. And 1 to 4, so that's a great, you know, after class, you guys can go in a group and introduce yourselves. Andrew, the owner of the company, is gonna be there and he's expecting you. And another thing, I was talking to, I don't remember, is it David, the guy from England? Is he there?
He's not here right now, no.
Oh, okay. Well, Kevin Adams, like he just texted me on Facebook, and I was gonna give him that's the contact he needs to talk to. Kevin Adams.
Okay.
He's used to be a Keller Williams. He is a Keller Williams agent, and he's in England right now. He's a ministry over there. So I thought those two would be good for them to connect with each other.
All right, I'm writing it down so I don't forget. Thank you.
Okay. You're welcome.
Okay, so Community Mortgage Brokers, that's a local.
Yeah, let me see, let me Google the Vantage Hotel. I never heard of it.
I know where it's at.
Yeah.
It's on the top floor of the Vandervoort Hotel V.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay, Just tell Andrew that I send you, Liliana, and they all know me there.
And you said it's from 1 to 4?
1 to 4. Free headshots.
All right, thank you.
I have.
You're welcome.
I have a thought.
Okay.
So you're the seller
Mhm.
and I come in and say, hey, you know, we'll list your house. I have a list of buyers, don't I?
Yes,
Don't we?
yeah.
Okay. And I want to, I mean, because we're new, so to say. But we have a list of buyers because we can go onto our Facebook group, anyway, we could go onto that and we can put out that we have this house for sale and who has a buyer. And what are the other list of buyers that we have? I mean, we've got our own buyers that we're working with. But what about Keller Williams Springfield as a whole?
Mhm.
How can we apply that? Am I making sense?
Mhm.
Okay.
Absolutely. So what he's saying is that part of his value proposition when he goes into a listing presentation could be that he already has access to a group of buyers who are actively looking for a home like the seller has. And if we don't some of us will have the limiting belief that we don't have access to buyers because we're not working with buyers specifically right now who are looking for that house.
Right.
But we have access to other agents who have buyers that are looking for that. So we can utilize our internal Facebook group. We can also door knock the offices. I can't tell you how many times I've made a flyer for a buyer or a seller and actually taken it door to door or put it in the mailboxes. But we do have access. We can put it, once we have a signed agreement, we can also market it into the GSBOR page and the Springfield real estate agent page. So there's a variety of places where we can access other agents who have buyers.
All right, so
So then your question is, where else can we access buyers?
no, you did the answer. I mean, that was good. So fine tune that. So I'm the seller and you're getting my listing,
Mhm.
or anyway, we're interviewing for the listing. So tell me how many buyers you have. Tell me, say that to me. I've got buyers. I mean, I have a list of buyers. So sell me,
You say
do the
to
role
me.
play.
No, you do it to me. I'm the teacher.
No,
You sell me.
You're teaching me.
Oh, I'm teaching you. Well, to be honest with you, it's not a tactic that I use.
Okay, so then we
So
would
what
just,
I would say, what I would typically, when I'm sharing how I'm gonna market their property and,
Yeah.
and bring a buyer, I have my listing consultation guide in front of me. It has a list of the different things I'm gonna do to market their home. And one of the things that I'm going to do is I'm gonna network with other agents
Okay.
who have buyers who are actively looking for a home like yours.
Right.
I'm gonna reach out to all the agents I know. I'm gonna reach out to some of our internal Facebook groups, and I'm gonna get your home in front of those agents even before we hit the MLS. But I'm not gonna stop at just listing it on the MLS. I'm gonna actively pursue other agents and find someone that has a buyer for your home.
that's what I wanted to hear. And then I like the part about the board GSBR. Because if you could put that out there, I mean, so I'm not just reaching out to Keller Williams agents, I'm reaching out to everybody.
All the agents.
Perfect.
And then also, if you follow their Facebook group, even though maybe you've posted the property on there, oftentimes you see agents saying, hey, I'm looking for this type of property. If you watch that page, you can always respond when you have a listing that meets that criteria. Hey, did you see my listing at such and such?
Cool, perfect. Okay.
So
Yours
you're,
again.
you're selling and promoting your brand,
Mhm,
okay, as well as your skill sets.
mhm.
So the brand is Keller Williams, and then how you have performed historically in the market.
Yeah, you
If you're new,
it can be a variety, your value proposition, and I'm sure we're gonna dig into it, can be a variety of things. So it can be your personality traits
okay,
that make you a great fit for this
Right.
particular seller or a great fit for selling homes in general. It could be the skills that you've mastered. It can be your past history, your past sales. You want to use a variety of things so that if you're lacking in one area, you can show you've got all these other things that make up for it. So if you don't have past sales, I don't have past, you may not say that. You're not going to say, I don't have any past sales, but you're going to say, I have this, and this.
okay, so this is really a business side focus.
Yeah.
Not the personal side, building a connection and relationship.
I mean, I think that when you share your
when
value
you-
proposition, that you are hoping that you're also going to connect with them personally,
Yeah.
because they're looking for someone that they can trust, who has the business experience, but also is going to have the personality that fits theirs or that can manage theirs.
So you can start talking about your grandkids.
Absolutely.
Okay.
No.
Absolutely. I actually was role playing with myself this morning, thinking about a video that I'm gonna make for social media that talks about how when my friends and family bring me referrals, it helps their referral in this way because this is the value I bring. But then also they're helping me because I have this family to support and I've got these kids going to college, and how that, they're helping the future youth of America. So I've been kind of brainstorming that because we want people to connect with us on a personal level too. And my drive to bring up these children is going to reflect in how hard I work for them.
Right.
You know what I mean? Let's see. I'm supposed to ask you, did everybody meet with their accountability partner? Have you guys set up times to meet with your accountability partner? Are you checking in? Are you using the time here to do that? Are you doing it outside of? Using the time here?
Jeff,
Yeah, I called my accountability partner this morning and I said, hey, I'm sitting outside your house that you've got listed on whatever street, fake street. And I said, I
I
want to,
thought he was crazy.
to see it right now. I want to see it right now. When can I see it?
So it was a role play.
She didn't, I don't think Liliana, however you say Liliana was following me. She's like, what are you talking about? I wanted her to get me to come into the office and prove that I have funds and who I am.
Yeah,
check me
yeah,
out.
yeah.
But anyway,
As
it was
opposed to
fun.
just
But
showing up to
she was
experience.
actually sitting in the, I guess, a waiting room at the doctor's office.
Oh.
Her husband's in surgery, and
Oh.
so she's like, I can't do this right now. But yeah,
Oh, I was texting and I think I continue because I'll text business with anyone. And I just ask you, Brad, if you were pre-qualified.
yeah, I wanted to talk because texting gives you too much time to think. I wanted to put you on the spot. But anyway.
No. Well, I couldn't talk. I can talk now.
Well, we're in class.
Anne, how about you?
So, no, we haven't gotten together yet.
Okay, and Destiny, you probably don't have an accountability partner yet. Okay, so we'll see what we can do to find you one. Okay. I think everybody that's been here this week has somebody, but Jennifer, who joined us yesterday, I don't think she has anyone yet, so maybe that would be someone good to connect with. She's a new agent.
I could
Jennifer
do,
Strachey.
I could do it with you as
No,
well.
Williams.
I don't mind having two. I mean, we could, anyway, if you can't find anybody, I can handle two accountability
Okay.
partners.
And then Melissa online said, how often are we supposed to meet with our accountability partner? What is recommended? So Melissa, it's really up to you and Evan what your schedules are like. You know, if you want to do it every single day for 10 to 15 minutes, if you want to do it 3 times a week for a little bit longer. I mean, the idea really is just to do one of two things, to spend a little time role playing and practicing your conversations, and then also checking in on your success system. So your handwritten cards, your conversations, putting people into your database and your social media. So it's really up to you and, you know, what matches your schedule. But I do recommend for everybody to set specific times and try to stick to them. I will promise you that the first time, you know, you miss, it's over. Everybody just gives up. I don't know why. Experienced it time and time again. Okay, so today we're going to talk about the value proposition, what matters to buyers and sellers, defining your value. Then we're going to recap, and then we're going to get into our daily success system. So by the end of today, you will be equipped to define the meaning of a value proposition, explain the benefits of creating a personalized value proposition, and describe what buyers and sellers value the most in their real estate experience. To start thinking about what you will learn today, let's consider what questions we might have and what we'd like to learn about. Find a partner and have a 5-minute conversation about your questions and what you'd like to learn about. Jot your notes down in I have participant guide so that it stays top of mind. As we go through the content today, listen to hear if your questions have been answered. So let's just do that really quickly here. Oh, Shanna's coming in. Hi, I think I fixed it. Well, actually, yeah. So, when they come over and they speak over the people who are at home, it's really loud.
Yep.
Can we turn it down? I messed it up over here and I figured out. Oh, okay, perfect. Yeah, there we go. Thank you so much.
You're so welcome.
I got, it started echoing. That's why I panicked,
yeah,
but then I
so-
fixed that.
Yep.
Okay.
There you go.
Thanks. All right, so let's talk about, in relationship to value propositions, what are some things you guys would like to learn today?
Well, I would like to learn how to get over myself and see myself as a value. I was just like, I'm looking at myself in the mirror right now, I was like, I have value?
I agree with that. I mean, I know that I have value, but I find that it's hard to express that value and not come across as being, like, I don't want to come across as being,
Arrogant.
yes.
Mhm.
Yeah, but we have to, so I guess, yeah, how to sell yourself, you know?
Right.
But like you said, you have a list of, in your presentations, you have a list of things that you're gonna do to market the property.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah, and I have a whole list of things that I've promised you guys. I decided I was gonna try to send it this morning and I thought something's gonna come up today. And there's a few things that I have to get from other people, so I'm gonna see if anything else gets added to the list today, and then I'll send those out so that you can see my listing and consultation guide that I use and see some of the things that I put in there. But also I would encourage you to find other people's too, so, you know, see if, just go around and ask people, can I see your listing consultation guide? What's it look like? What do you have in there? That'll help you to decide what you wanna have in yours. Okay, so how to see myself as valuable and how to express my value. Those are both really about mindset, right? And they're really about limiting beliefs. So even this question of, can I express it, can I articulate it? Can I really get my point across? That's a fear that I won't be able to use the right words and to say them in the right order so that they hear what they need to hear to believe that you have the value that you have. So it's all really wrapped up in our mindset and our beliefs about ourselves.
So obviously it's subjective to an extent, but these are things that you know are true about yourself. You believe that they're true, you know they're true, and you have a history of acting in a certain way.
Yeah.
It may be diligence, it could be another character trait, but it's not like when you mention it, you're reaching for something that you're trying to impress them.
Right.
You know, this is the way you do business,
Yeah.
and you're honest.
And you know, I think one of the things that people, when they're writing their value proposition, they think it has to be different from what other agents do. And you know, they write their value they're like, well, this is what every agent does. Well, so that doesn't mean you're not excellent at it. So we can still share those things. But yeah, I think what's really important and maybe an exercise to do at home is to make a list of the positive qualities and characteristics that you have that you know to be true, right? And then see how you can use those things when you're writing your value proposition.
And you can even have some friends.
Yeah.
Because
Actually,
I'll be honest with you.
I would really encourage that because I've done that before. In fact, we did that during Bold this year, which is a class that's offered once a year. And let's remember we had to go around and people wrote stuff on us. I was so blown away at the things that people wrote that I probably would have never written about myself, you know? So that would be a really good exercise.
I have a question I want to learn at some point.
Yes. Oh, yes. Finish telling me the things you want to learn.
Where in the presentation do we put the value proposition? Do we start first like, okay, I know you really want to hear about your house, but let me tell you about me first. Or, oh, here's all the information of your house, about your house. Now, let me tell you about me. And then they're like, no, but I could care less. So I'm just curious about that.
So when you take the KPA and the DISC assessment and you start to learn about yourself, you will also have the opportunity to kind of read what the characteristics are of those other personality types. And as you are faced with people, you'll be like, oh, this person is a D. He's dominant. He doesn't want to hear all my fluff. He just wants the facts, you know, or this person's an I. We could talk for 3 hours and get nothing accomplished. I'm an I. You know, or this person is a C. We're gonna be able to have a great conversation, but she also is gonna wanna know the facts and she's gonna wanna really understand the process and the order of events. So you're gonna start over time to be able to judge those personality types. So I have my consultation guide and it goes in a certain order. Mine happens to start with, here's a little bit about me, why I got into real estate, some of my positive characteristics, but then it really is, my guide really lines out the process. And I know based on the personality in front of me, some of that I just gotta skip right on over.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? They don't wanna hear all of this.
Mhm.
Or I'm gonna give them just like 2 points from this and then we're gonna move on to the next thing.
Mhm.
So my value proposition is built into the whole thing. Because in my about me section, it's telling you about my positive characteristics, why I'm a good fit for real estate. And then I'm gonna move on to all of the things that I'm gonna do along the process to make sure that this is a success. So the value proposition is really built into the whole thing.
Got you.
Now, you could also have, you could create, you know, like they say 30-second commercial. You could also have a 30-second commercial of your value proposition in case you happen to just meet someone in an elevator and you had to, they said, oh, you're a realtor, I'm thinking about selling my house. What would I say to that person to convince them to at least give me an appointment? You know? So your value proposition can be something that's short and succinct that you can share at a moment's notice. It can also be built in to your other presentations, the other things that you know, you want to have something for an open house. You want to be able to share your value with someone at an open house. You're not going to give them a whole presentation at that time. So what would you share in order to get in front of them a second time?
Something real quick.
Yeah,
Sorry, if I'm too much, just say.
you're not
shut
too
up.
much.
So
Rather have engagement than just talking to.
the listing presentation,
Mhm.
the MREA podcast, it's either the first, it's one of the first 3 of the series. This guy's talking about that. So when you go in to do the listing presentation, don't get hung up on so much selling yourself, but get the client to sell themselves on moving. Like he went into how long you lived in this house. And so, okay, then, you know, you're whatever. But anyway, listen to that podcast. And then we, do you guys do the podcast? MREAs? Okay,
I
cool.
just listened to one yesterday.
Good, good, good. And then we were talking about everybody's doing the same thing. Well, that's all groovy because probably Keller Williams people are doing the same thing, but there's a lot of agents out there, and I don't really see us competing so much, but there's a lot of agents out there going after the same client that are not doing this. So that's my 2 cents.
Yeah.
All right.
That's good. Good agents, a lot of us are doing the same thing because we've been well-trained and we know what we know our job description, we know the activities of our job. But there's a lot of agents out there who are not doing the training, not learning their skills, not mastering their skills. And so that's right, they're not really competition for us. It's a matter of us sharing, this is what an agent's supposed to be providing you. There's something else you said that I wanted to touch on. It'll come back to me. We will start our session today by learning about the value proposition and discussing the benefits of defining your value proposition. Let's begin by understanding what a value proposition is. It's a unique, memorable, and persuasive statement that expresses the true value of working with you. It addresses the specific, it addresses the specific and special needs of the buyer and sellers in your market. That's what I was gonna touch on. So when you said you've got to sell the seller on moving, you're doing that by asking questions and finding out what their motivation is, right? We're finding out all the reasons that they're wanting to move. I can then respond with what my characteristics and my personality and my way of doing things, my skill set, how does it solve their problem? How does it
meet their needs?
How does it meet their needs and address their motivation? How does it address their motivation?
So here's a question, but you don't have a signed agreement yet, but they're telling you all about why they want to move or why they want to buy. Doesn't that get into surely they're giving you specific information?
If they start talking about money and stuff like that, you know, you might say something, hey, you know, I'm not necessarily working with you yet. So I don't know, but if it bugs you, you know, they're talking about something that kind of bugs you.
The
I
problem
don't
is you're not gonna probably get them to sign the agreement until you've given your presentation.
Right.
I honestly don't think there's any problem with, they're sharing with me what they want to share. And if you ask a question that they're not comfortable answering, they won't answer it. I mean, you'll know, they'll skirt around it, or they'll say, well, I'm not sure I want to answer that yet.
No, I'm just thinking about as they start going into their life story, do I have to say, oh, but wait a minute.
No, because I can tell you my life story right now, Ann, and I don't have to have an agreement in place.
Okay, so I'm a newbie. I just took the course and all over the course it was, don't get specific information without a signed agreement.
Don't get or don't give?
Don't get, don't hear it. As soon as they're giving you specific information, then you're not being a good fiduciary or whatever, because until they have a signed agreement and you can say, hey, I'm gonna keep this confidential, you shouldn't listen to anything. Like, oh, we've got huge debt and we need to sell this house to pay off the debt. That would be their motivation. But that's also very specific information that if I don't get a signed agreement from them, now I can, now it's out there. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm gonna make Dawn address this for us.
Oh,
I'm not sure.
okay.
Sure. I will say that I'm going to assume the role of fiduciary from the minute I walk in their door.
That's where I was gonna go.
Okay.
I mean, I'm going to already assume fiduciary. I'm already not going to repeat anything they've told me. I mean, that's just gonna be my mindset from the beginning. And once I have the agreement in place, now they're assured of it.
Okay,
You
okay.
know, I already know that's gonna be my position. But the agreement now assures it between us. They know now that I'm legally bound to do that. Before, it's just gonna be my
They
character.
told you, and it's up to you to keep it to yourself. I mean, it's not like you're gonna run out the door and say,
No,
call
sure,
up all your
but
people.
what happens then if you turn out to be the one bringing, you're on the opposite, and now you're negotiating with this
Well,
person
that's-
that you know this information about, but you're not their fiduciary?
Yeah. I don't know. I've never been in that position. I see what you're saying. Like I had a listing agreement with them, but they went with another agent and then I just so happened to have a buyer looking for the same thing. I would honestly, before I ever brought the offer, I would probably go talk to Dawn and say, here's the situation, here's what happened, what should I do?
Mm,
In a case like that, if I really had information that I could use against them to negotiate for my client, I would probably refer them to someone else and get the referral fee.
Oh, okay. Just, right.
That's some serious information. I mean, what kind of information are you gonna have? What kind of information are they gonna throw out?
If they've shared their motivation, and I know what their motivation is, and I could use it to negotiate.
Okay. I mean, yeah, they're gonna tell you the motivation when you ask the right questions before.
So
if or
it's
if-
fine.
I
if
think
or
it
if
would
not.
be a case by case situation that I probably would go to Dawn or Jim and say, here's what I know, and here's the situation I'm in, what do you think I should do?
Okay, that's fair.
Your value proposition states what you will do for the client to earn your commission, and it holds you accountable to high standards. Remember that one of our beliefs is the Y4C2Ts, in the Y4C2Ts, is commitment in all things. Your value proposition ultimately is a promise to fulfill your client's needs. What are other examples of how your value proposition can align with the Y4C2Ts? Can anybody turn to that in your participant? I keep wanting to say, I don't know what I'm,
Persistence guy, just call it a guy.
I was thinking more about sweat. What's that
Oh,
called?
perspiration.
Perspiration guy.
Your sweat guy.
It's a little bit of both. Okay, I've got some possible answers up here, but if you
Okay,
guys will
number
throw
for the
some things
guide.
out.
It's before the table of contents.
It's like at the very,
Yeah, it's very beginning, like first backside of first page.
and since you've got it open, why don't you tell us some examples of how your value proposition can align with the Y4C2Ts? What can you say about yourself that would bring value to the client based upon that list?
So one of them is, customers always come first. So that means that I'm gonna show you the houses that are gonna meet your needs, that you've communicated to me. I'm not gonna try to show you something you don't want just because it's priced higher and I would get more commission. Is that part of the value proposition though?
Yeah, because you're sharing your character.
Okay.
Your character is part of your value,
Okay.
right?
All right.
Anybody else got it open where you can see it?
No. Let me see it.
Well, and just so you know, that's one of the answers that they had up here. It says you prioritize understanding your client's needs because buying a home is one of the most expensive purchases they will ever make.
Love it.
Another one that's on here is win-win or no deal. It's my favorite one. You ensure that all who are involved in each real estate transaction will have the best possible outcome, yourself included. So it's got to be a win for every single person. And equity, opportunities for all. You advocate for underserved populations. Top agents can easily explain what services they will provide to anyone who hires them. Okay, let's look at this quote from the MREA together about the value proposition. Why is it important to define your value?
I think it builds trust within the client.
Absolutely.
Helps them understand who they're dealing with. And it also eliminates a no win-win situation, because if they can't work with you because of your values, and if you can't work with them because of something they don't like about your values, then maybe you're not meant to work together. I don't know. Just, there it is.
Hey, I want to acknowledge that Mary said win-win or no deal. Mary, absolutely right. Woohoo, Mary, woohoo. She also said that she and Jennifer are planning on meeting Tuesdays between team meeting and Ignite to study. Perfect. Okay, anybody else? Why is it important to define our value?
Builds confidence for ourselves.
Yeah, that's a great one, actually, because it's kind of, the more you just define your value for someone else, the more you can believe it yourself, hearing it over and over again, the more it becomes true for you as well.
I would say as you build confidence within yourself, that your client is also hearing that confidence, and that gives them confidence in you as well.
Love it.
Very good. Benefits of a value proposition helps your clients understand your value and expertise. It protects your commission and it builds strong and trusting relationships.
Protects your commission.
Your value proposition helps you stand out from the competition and helps your clients understand why they're paying you. I think sometimes too, which you guys, some of you may not have experienced yet, but you get kind of into the transaction and things happen in negotiations and things happen in inspections. And then sometimes someone might say to you, well, I can't really afford that because I'm paying you blah, blah, blah. If you were to cut your commission, then I could agree to that negotiation. When you have expressed your value, they're going to be a lot less likely to ask you to cut your commission.
Gotcha.
So so let's go back to number one. Helps your clients understand your value and expertise. Not everyone knows why they should hire an agent for their real estate needs. Sharing your value proposition with your potential client provides them opportunity to see how working with you can make their real estate experience better. And builds strong and trusting relationships. Your value proposition is your promise to your client. By keeping your word when working with your client, you earn their trust. Clients who trust you are more likely to hire you again in the future and refer you to their friends and family. Value proposition examples. So in this case, this is like what I was saying is your little elevator speech. This is your 30-second commercial. This is the quick and fast.
Right.
This is why you should work with me. So this is kind of like their taglines. Airbnb exists to create a world where everyone can belong anywhere, providing healthy travel that is local, authentic, diverse, inclusive, and sustainable. So they've boiled down what makes them valuable to their customer. Everyday low prices for a broad range of goods that are always in stock in convenient geographical locations. Slack makes it downright pleasant to work together. Great writing simplified. Compose bold, clear, mistake-free writing with Grammarly's AI-powered writing assistant. Send invoices in minutes and get paid 2 days faster. Here to help life go right. Can you see where these things that they're, oh, great. Don't come down here, you're gonna make me a nervous wreck.
We were gonna come shoot video, but we're like, we should, I want some ice, we're gonna do that anyway.
How they've shared information about themselves that meets someone's need. It solves someone's problem. So with QuickBooks, perhaps this individual had no way to send an invoice before, or it was hard for them, the invoice system they had before was hard to use. Maybe there was a delay in when they were getting paid, when the money went from this bank account to this bank account. So QuickBooks has solved their problem by making invoices where they can send them in minutes and they get paid more quickly. So we're looking, this is why we have to dig out their motivation. We have to know their motivation and what their needs are so we know how to fulfill it. And that's how we bring them value. Connect to your value, KW and market center value, fiduciary and market expert. So far at Ignite, we've discussed your value that is enhanced by being part of Keller Williams, what it means to serve as a fiduciary for your clients, and the importance of being a market center expert. Let's connect what we have learned so far to your value proposition. How does being part of Keller Williams family bolster your personal value? What can we share about Keller Williams that also makes us more valuable?
We have a lot of resources to bring to the table.
Largest real estate company in the nation.
Our beliefs. You know, so yeah, I can't list them off right now, but our beliefs.
I mean, is that sheet that lists out all of our beliefs, is that something that you could include in your presentation guide?
Yes.
Yeah. Maybe it's even something that you have printed out and you leave with them. I'm doing that. I never even thought about that.
Mhm.
Love it.
I don't know how to spell. Anyway, go ahead.
What else? What else about Keller Williams?
What have we said so far? The largest in the nation, our beliefs, what else?
The resources that.
Resources.
And I meant like KW Mortgage and
Mhm.
those
Okay.
other things. And I mean, along with being the largest one in the nation, that means we've got lots of agents in the area.
I think with the lots of agents in the area, we have a team, we have people we can turn to. I mean, it's not like we're fighting against each other,
Right.
you know?
And that's something that when you share those values and beliefs of Keller Williams, you can also share with them, you know, my fellow agents may be my competition, but we don't treat each other that way.
Hmm.
I've got a team of people who have my back, who bring their experience to the table as well, but not just that, they bring their buyers.
Right. That was a nice little put in.
I'm gonna add too that this is a technology company. We have the tools to look, search for properties all over the world and to help our clients.
And to use that technology to find agents in other areas, right?
Right. Bring people, grow your downline. Yep.
Okay, so how does your value proposition relate to serving as a fiduciary to your clients?
That has to do with confidentiality when they share financial information, motivations for buying or selling, things of that nature. Knowing that information will be protected.
Here they said, being a fiduciary for your clients means that you place their best interest above anything else. While serving as a fiduciary, you simultaneously raise your level of service and the value you provide to your clients, which is what exemplifies your value proposition. So we put their best interest above anything else. How does being a market expert add to your value proposition?
knowing depending on the location of the property, knowing the neighborhood information, knowing the larger community information, and maybe things related specifically to the subdivision, its history, the builder. You know, was he a great builder or historically, would that be part of it?
That could be part of it. Also, maybe pulling the statistics for that neighborhood. How quickly are homes selling in this neighborhood? At what percentage of sales price are they actually selling at? What are some of the statistics that will help that seller sell their home more quickly for the right amount of money? So, yeah.
So do we need to be? Do we need to be an expert in certain subdivisions, or do we feel like we can just pull that information on any subdivision?
I think we can get that information on any subdivision.
So in order to be the expert, that we need to know how to pull that information.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yep.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, so if you know you've got a listing presentation coming up, it's gonna be important to research and get as much information about that area
Mhm.
and about that home as you can before you go. So some agents, less awesome agents than us, might just show up with their consultation guide and an agreement, sit down at the table and say, tell me about your house. Tell me about your neighborhood. Now, I want to hear that from them too. I want to know I want to know all the facts about their house that they have to share, and I want to know what they love about it. And I want to know the facts about their neighborhood, and I want to know what they love about it, because that I can build into my marketing later. And then I know their motivation, but I also am going to do my research to find out as much as I can in case there's things that they don't know. But also so that I show them I'm an expert, I show them I cared enough to do that research before I got there. As opposed to just, here I am, tell me all about it.
That's good farming advice.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you.
And also when you're farming, ask questions, because a neighbor can help you to gain and gather information about the rest of the neighborhood and the houses in the neighborhood. So that's something, then you walk to the next house and you say, oh, I heard such and such. They're like, whoa, how'd you know that? Yeah. When you have your finger on the pulse of the market, the knowledge you glean and share with your clients is part of your value proposition. This is because whatever you learn will help you in guiding your clients to make the best decisions. What other knowledge, attitudes, skills, and beliefs do you possess that may help you stand out as an agent? Does anybody want to share anything specific to yourself that makes you valuable? I can give you some examples if it will help you tweak your brain. They are bilingual. They used to work in sales. Their family member was or is a real estate agent. They have a degree in finance, accounting, business, real estate. So in other words, you may be sharing something that's unique to you, or you may be sharing some experience that you have that you're bringing to the table, even if it's not real estate experience. What you got? David,
Yes,
what you got?
I'm sorry I'm late,
That's okay.
but anyway, it was.
What's something unique about you or a past experience that makes you valuable to a client as a real estate agent? What's something you bring that's valuable?
Well, I have a specific group of people, and I'm definitely gonna start with a large group of people. I've lived internationally, and I've actually halfway bought a house from overseas. So I'm well aware of, I mean, what that's like, working 8 time zones different, working through different people who aren't there present and how to help them. And, you know,
So
all that
that's
kind
a
of stuff.
great value proposition for someone who's relocating to an area who you may not be able to sit down in front of all the time, who might be working with a different work schedule, time zone. So people who are relocating into the area or out of the area. People who are in the military, we work all the time with, one person is overseas. So you've got one spouse here in front of you and you got the other one who may be on 24, 12-hour different. So that's a great, unique value proposition.
Well, Amy, I know you've talked to some other agents, probably. But what makes me stand out right now in this point of my life is I have three goals when I'm building a business in real estate, and I am solely myself, meaning I don't have any other distractions. I'm focused on selling your home, and I'm available to do this basically 24/7, other than the fact that I do need some rest. So that's one of the things that makes me stand out, is that I don't have any other distractions. I don't have family. I mean, so to say, I don't have to go home and take care of my kids. And my goal is to get your house sold, and I'm gonna focus on what it takes to get that done, because I don't have the distractions. Does that sound okay? How'd that sound?
That sounded good.
Okay.
It was a little long.
Well, it's because I was stumbling over it.
Boil it down a little.
I was thinking something similar to that, because I'm an empty nester, and my husband's a pilot, so he's gone a lot of the time. So I do have a lot of free time. However, it felt, as I started thinking about it, I thought, but that might be promising more than I want to deliver.
That was the one thing I was thinking too, is that you may not want to be available to them 24/7. You would probably want to put a little bit of parameters around it, just so that they know that there will be times that you will take personal time and rest.
Well, I mean, the goal is to get the listing, and after that, you just be a functional real estate.
What if you've had additional training in contract negotiations, conflict resolution, things of that nature? Bringing
Absolutely.
two parties together.
I think mine would be, I've raised 5 kids in this area. I've driven to more activities in more areas than you can imagine. And so I know the area well. And I also know, kid-friendly versus not so great.
Can't really say that. You can't, what's that called? Redlining? Is that redlining?
Oh, I
No,
didn't
that wasn't
mean,
redlining.
oh, and that's good that you say that. I should be more specific. I don't mean
Was it steering?
areas. I don't mean homes.
It's steering.
It is steering. I don't mean homes or neighborhoods. I mean like activities and.
So you have been immersed in the community.
Yeah, okay. Sort of,
You
kind of.
have vast knowledge of resources, activities, locations.
Okay.
You can provide great referrals and recommendations.
There you go. That's what I meant to say.
Push the AI button on your phone and say, I'm gonna say this without staring. Like, You're gonna come up with an answer.
Okay, that's fair.
Do they still do references sometimes, and referrals, previous clients?
So I have in the back of my consultation guide, I have some reviews.
Okay.
I have never really provided references.
But you have written reviews from previous clients?
I'm trying to remember, I feel like there was somebody that was in the situation recently and the client asked for they wanted the phone numbers and names of past clients.
Mhm.
Oh, it was a builder situation. I was working with some buyers who were meeting with a builder, and they asked the builder if they could provide names and phone numbers of past clients. So yes, if you had references who would be willing to be listed, I don't think it'd be a bad idea at all. Mhm.
So we could give out those numbers without.
I mean, you'd want to have.
You have to confirm
You
with
have
them.
permission, I'm sure.
You'd have to have permission.
Yeah.
You'd have to have permission. Now, in some case, if you're a new agent, Mary said backed by over 500 experienced agents. That's right, Mary. If you don't have past real estate clients, you could use people who know you from your past careers or other things you've been involved in, who can give a reference as to your professionalism, to your character, that sort of thing. Honestly, I feel like very few clients would actually call those people, but they would be impressed by the fact that it was included, that you were confident enough to let them talk to someone else about you.
And then also in kind of in the same area, you could, you always ask your clients to post a review, you know, maybe through Zillow or something like that. So you could give them a link to your reviews. So.
Yeah. Yeah, and once you start to gather reviews, you could have, here's access where you can read all of my reviews.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So connect to your value. Keller Williams and Market Center Value. I have access to the collective knowledge and experience of nearly 200,000 agents worldwide. As a fiduciary, I can point you to reputable resources for service providers such as handymen, window washers, tax associates, and financial advisors. As a market expert, I can help you price your home to sell because I am very tuned into the market of the moment. So, I mean, that was pretty awesome because it really didn't give too many like nitty-gritty details. It didn't require like having to have this very specific, you know, statistics or certain knowledge. I mean, it's kind of a broad, but it still gets the point across of the value that you're bringing. So I guess I say that because I don't want anybody to get too wrapped up in, do I have enough to share? Do I have any ahas?
Well, I would say that one of the ahas was to make sure that I knew how to pull the data on subdivisions. Make sure that I understood how to do that well. And then also the 200,000 agents worldwide. What kind of an expectation does that put with the client? Like, my house is gonna sell right now, but then again, you put it in KWRI, that, you know, that MLS, then it goes out. So you gotta follow through with your statement on that. I like that 200,000 agents worldwide. I like that, you know, up to or whatever. I like that, but you gotta understand how to follow through with that.
So part of that though has to be in their commitment as well. Because even if you have all these agents with all these buyers, if they won't agree to prepare their house properly, to price it properly, and to allow showings in a timely way, their house may still not sell. It won't matter how many people we expose it to. So that is, yes, you have to be able to follow through with getting it out to as many agents as you can, to getting it out in front of as many eyes as you can, but they've got to do their part as well. It's a team effort.
And you need to, in the presentation.
And you explain that to them, that's, like, this is what I'm gonna do, and this is how you can help me to.
Yeah, and you literally want to ask them for their commitment in that.
I think one of the things as we've gone through that is, obviously, I'm not gonna have all the answers. And so if I don't have an answer, I have to be honest, hey, I don't have the answer, but I'll go find it.
Yeah.
And usually there's resources that you can find a good answer and get back to them, so.
Any other ahas? Okay, so what matters to buyers and sellers? An important aspect of designing your value proposition is understanding what matters most to buyers and sellers, so you know how best to position yourself. So from a broad perspective, there's certain things that are probably important to every buyer and every seller. And then we also have the responsibility to find out what's important to this buyer and this seller. Refer to your participant guide. Understanding what buyers and sellers want out of their real estate experience is complex. Yet it requires that you know the purpose of real estate. The purpose of real estate is different for buyers and sellers. In the Millionaire Real Estate Agent book, Gary Keller explains, for buyers, their goal is to find just the right home at the right price in the right time with the least number of problems. For sellers, their goal is to net the most amount of money in the shortest amount of time with the least number of problems. What happens to your client's buying and selling experience if you don't understand the purpose of real estate for buyers and sellers? What happens?
Repeat the question.
What happens to your buyers and sellers' experience, to their experience, if you don't understand the purpose of real estate? So he's just told us that the purpose for buyers is to find the right home at the best price in the right time with the least number of problems. And for sellers, it's to net the most amount of money in a short amount of time with the least amount of problems. If we don't understand that, how does that affect their experience?
You lose confidence in the brand as well as you personally.
Yep. What else?
Yeah, they're dissatisfied, they're unhappy, because you're setting an expectation and, yeah. I'd say it's a disappointing experience.
It only reinforces the negative stories they've heard about.
Real estate agent.
Yeah.
Anybody else?
Agree with what they said.
I mean, it's going to affect, it's gonna give them a poor experience. And then the ripple effect of that is, will they ever trust another real estate agent? Will they lose confidence in us and move on to another agent? Will they tell people, and what will happen to your reputation?
That one right there is, I wanted to say something about that. It's funny how people are, and something bad happens to them,
Tell everybody.
they tell everybody, something good happens, maybe one or two. It's really weird, but anyway.
You know, it's funny because you said yesterday about, I think it was you, said, was it you? Was it Jeff? I think it was you.
No, it wasn't me, because I called in,
Oh,
I
must
was
have been Jeff
out,
then.
so.
So about how we have a negative bias. Who said that?
That's me.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I knew it was somebody over here.
Somewhere in this direction.
About how we have a negative bias. So we assume first that the worst will happen and then we have to be convinced that something better could happen. But at the same time, it's so true that when something negative happens, we tell everyone, but when something positive happens, we don't tell anyone because we kind of have, well, it should have been that way. It should have been good. So why would I tell anybody that it was? I mean, that's how it should have been. Maybe it's still the same perspective.
That makes
Let-
sense. I always wonder why we didn't tell people, but yeah, there you go. That's what we expected. It should have been.
That's what we
Okay, go ahead.
expected. Let's talk about the phrase with the least number of problems, which is important for both buyers and sellers in their real estate experience. Sometimes problems will occur, yet with your due diligence, they can be either prevented or minimized. So when you first start out, I mean, there's going to be a problem in every transaction. There just will be. I've never had a transaction that didn't have a problem. Sometimes it's just a little tiny problem, but it's still there and we're gonna deal with it. Sometimes it's a massive problem. Sometimes a transaction is littered with problems. But and in the beginning, it's hard to know that those are gonna happen. You know, if we haven't been through a lot of transactions, we don't necessarily know that what's gonna come up or what has the potential to come up. But over time, we learn those things and we kind of know where they might happen. So we know to anticipate and look for them and figure out how we can prevent it. We ask the right questions of whoever may be able to help us prevent it. Do we need to ask some things of the lender? Do we need to ask some things of the seller? You know, do we need to ask something of the inspector? How can we figure out how to prevent or minimize it? And then some things are a matter of talking it through. So then I've got to figure out how am I going to be a good mediator between the parties and maybe even between me and the other agent. I mean, agents can get pretty defensive even when you're not attacking them. You
Right.
know, I've had a situation recently where went to the agent to share information that we had gathered, she became very defensive. And it really wasn't, me bringing the knowledge isn't designed to elicit that kind of response from her. I'm not trying to battle her, right? I'm trying to figure out how can we overcome this together. A lot of agents are different, people are different.
Right.
So you're gonna come up against people where everything is a battle. Every conversation is hard. And then there's people who are gonna be really good at working together with you to overcome the obstacles. Jeff says, if someone has a bad experience, they will tell everyone. If something good happens, they may tell a few. Word of mouth is so important. Jeff said also, there's a place on your website for collecting references and past client experiences. So on the Keller Williams website that you'll ultimately design.
So with the problems that occur in a transaction, learned this from another Keller Williams agent in Kansas City. And I liked it. He says, to the client, he says, you know, we've all flown on airlines and we've all taken trips on airlines. He says, you know, I've been on this route, this plane ride many times. And he says, you know, just like when you're on the airline, you may hit some turbulence and you may not. It may be a perfect flight or there may be some turbulence. He says, but we've flown this route so many times, we know how to take care of it. So you kind of set that up, you know.
Yeah, that's
I-
great.
And I don't think I did it as well as he does, but I like that. I like that. And
I'll be transparent and say that I don't do that. I don't necessarily give them a good expectation that problems could arise. And I should add that to my presentation. You know, this is something that we can expect. And we may have a few problems, we may have a lot of problems, no matter what, we know how to overcome them. Yeah, that's a good
Well, that's
point.
another opportunity for
I
you to
wanna
say,
say,
Hold on, Liliana, 1 second. We'll let David go and then I'll call on you.
okay,
that's an opportunity for you to say, and I'm gonna be here for you through all of it. If it's a big problem, little problem, multiple problems, I'm gonna be here for you through this, so don't worry about that.
Yeah, so it's another opportunity
Yeah.
to build that trust and that relationship. Liliana, go ahead.
I agree. You always have to reassuring that you're working for them and you have their best interest in this transaction. But often, sometimes the clients kind of want to take advantage of that and you just have to always think that this is just one transaction and your reputation is what is the most important. If you have to let that transaction go and to, you know, protect your reputation, just think that it's just one person. Your reputation in this business is what's the most important. Sometimes money is not, you know, that transaction, the paycheck is not as important as your reputation. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, in our role as a fiduciary, if we've done the right thing all along in the transaction, but our client wants to continue to not do the right thing or can't be respectful or can't negotiate with the other side, if we've done everything that we can do, it's all, even though we need to put their best interest above everything else, at some point, there are times when we have to cut our losses, which is unfortunate. Jeff said, I like the word challenge better than problem. Me too. Yes, it's part of your value proposition. Agreed. Yes, let's get rid of the word problem. Hey, they use that. I only read what they wrote, Jeff. I'm gonna change it. Okay, so here are the top 10 service areas of the buyer value proposition from the Millionaire Real Estate Agent. I will quickly share the services that agents provide to buyers. We will cover these service areas in more detail in the upcoming sessions of Ignite. So the top 10 service areas of a buyer value proposition. Needs analysis. So I'm gonna find out what my client's needs are. I'm gonna care enough to dive deeper, ask more questions, really uncover their motivation and how I can meet their needs. I'm going to help them get pre-qualification or pre-approval with their lender. I'm gonna provide them with neighborhood information. I'm gonna set up a home search. I'm gonna help them make their offer. I'm gonna negotiate that offer effectively. I'm gonna coordinate vendors, so inspectors, this is for the buyer, so inspectors, specialists, anyone that we need to bring into the home to help us gain more in-depth information about the home. I'm going to pre-close preparation. So I'm gonna assume pre-close preparation means things like reviewing the settlement statement, ensuring that repairs were made, doing a final walkthrough, schedule, coordinating that. And then I'm gonna attend closing and make sure that we have a smooth and accurate closing. And I'm gonna follow up with them post-closing to find out if they have any needs as a new homeowner. That makes sense?
Yes.
And the top 10 service areas of the seller, again, needs analysis, pricing strategy, property preparation. So we're gonna make sure that we gather as much information as possible to find out what the right price is, but then we're gonna set a strategy with them. So that's that time where it's important to ask them for their commitment too, in the pricing their home properly. And then preparing their home. So do we need to declutter? Do we need to clean something? Is there a repair that needs to be made? Do we need to move the furniture around? Should we take the blinds off the windows? That sort of thing.
Do you stage too, you said, so you get pretty in-depth about all of that, I'm guessing.
But if that's not a skill set of yours, one of the things that Maria is building into our new guide is an actual list of things that sellers should do to prepare their home so that you don't have to be a person who creates a checklist for them. You're giving them a list of things that they can do to get their house ready.
Okay.
Have you,
More generic.
you usually run into cooperation on that property preparation?
Do they usually cooperate?
Yeah, I mean, is it,
I would say that everyone wants to cooperate. We all have different standards of living. And we all see things different visually. So when I say, this is what I'd love for you to do I always walk in and it looks exactly like I hoped it would look? No, but it's not necessarily because I'm getting a ton of pushback. It's just that we have a different standard. Now, when it comes to money and the amount of money that someone wants to invest, yes, sometimes, they simply won't want to invest the money. And sometimes they can't, they don't have it. So we have to figure out what's most important. It's my job to tell them, okay, in that case, if we have this much money to work with, then here's our priorities. Does that make sense?
yes.
Marketing strategy. I'm going to share with them what my marketing strategy is. We're going to receive offers. We're going to negotiate those offers. We're going to sell the home. So we're going to go under contract. And then again, we're going to, if there are repairs that need to be made, if we've negotiated repairs during inspection, I'm going to help them coordinate repairs. I'm going to ensure that those repairs are completed. I'm going to read their settlement statement. I'm going to coordinate the buyer's final walkthrough coming to the home and making sure that everything is good for closing. And I'm going to attend their closing and I'm going to follow up with them after closing.
So number 4, is that where it hits MLS and all the other
things you could do.
Yeah.
So
property out there in the public?
yeah, so you're gonna put it on the MLS. That's gonna feed out to, we only really syndicate to Realtor. Somehow it still ends up on Zillow. I don't know how the universe works. But, so it gets out there, but also what else are we gonna do? I'm gonna put a sign in the yard. I'm gonna have flyers. I'm gonna host an open house. I'm gonna door knock the neighborhood. I'm gonna call your neighbors and say, who do you know that wants to live in the neighborhood? I'm gonna put it out to all the realtor groups. I also belong to other groups on Facebook, so I'm gonna put it in the open house groups. I'm gonna put it for the people searching for a home in Nixa group. So I'm gonna do all these, I'm gonna tell them in my marketing strategy, all the different things I'm gonna do.
But when we do it into the MLS, then it gets out to a lot of those, and that's just part of being a member of the
Yes.
board
That
here.
makes it available for all the other agents to see, and then it syndicates to realtors, so buyers who are looking on their own can see it as well.
Does Keller Williams provide an additional list of places to make sure it gets marketed?
Yeah, we go out to almost like 400 or 500, maybe more websites, like Land Voice, not Land Voice, land.com, and I mean, we go out, we end up on Trulia, we end up on Zillow. KWRI goes out internationally. So it goes to a lot of.
Yeah, like through Command, you can run a search for anywhere.
Oh, okay.
So if it's on any MLS that Keller Williams is part of across, at least across the country, I've never searched properties, outside of the country, but I'm sure that's available as well.
So these services that you offer, especially to the seller side, I was just looking through this would be a great way to approach an expired.
Yeah.
So maybe, why am I better, or what can I do for you? Well, did they talk about property preparation, the other agent, how'd they negotiate for you? What was their marketing strategy? Would you like to, so it'd be a good way this would be great to practice. And if you need some now business, the expireds,
Or for sale by owners too.
yeah, that as well.
These are what are you doing for yourself? How are you, what was your pricing strategy? What's your marketing strategy? I mean, most for sale by owner just want to put a sign in the yard. They might have tried to get it on Zillow, half the time it doesn't show up.
We'll be covering more about how to go after expireds in the digital market. I remember
I don't
20 years
know.
ago how to do it, but it was different.
Yeah. I'm sure that someone will be able to share that. Is there a list of different platforms we can post the homes to? So Mary, that's what we were saying. We really don't need to post it anywhere else but the MLS. It will syndicate out to a lot of different sites. I don't know why I'm talking to this. Mary, you're over there. I keep doing that. But then as far as like social media, there's a lot of different groups on social media that you can post into. I have a list that I've created for myself of different groups that I've joined, and that way I make sure that when I'm sharing my posts that I don't forget to put it into a certain group, but you don't really have to post it to any other sites. Now, there are things that you could do. So say you've got a luxury listing, or you've got something that's unusual, you want to market to people outside of our area. There are magazines, online magazines, sites that are specific to that. I personally have never had a situation where I had to use that. I have done Facebook ads that I've shot out to like Washington, Oregon, California, when I was having trouble selling a home and I wanted to market some of those people who might be moving in. So
Why'd you
that's
pick those areas?
from the having experience working with buyers that were coming from that area and recognizing that that's where a lot of our buyers were coming from, especially in the market that we just came out of. And Arizona also. Yeah. And honestly, I just had to pick something.
Okay, it's cool.
I mean, we were seeing an influx of buyers from that area, so that's why. Let's see, over the next 4 slides, we are going to look at data from the 2021 report from the National Association of Realtors, or NAR, on what matters most to buyers and sellers when they hire an agent. Now let's look at what buyers want most from a realtor. This graph covers the top responses and categories. Everything else is, but what the top? Oh, okay, so 24% is other. any other random thing they may have said. But 52% said, help us find the right home to purchase. 13% said, help the buyer negotiate the terms of the sale. And 11% said, help with the price negotiations. Why do you think so much of it went to help us find the right home?
Because that's what you want. I mean, because they don't understand, I don't know, they don't really understand what they're looking for, or how to find what they're looking for.
I think it's
Because we are the experts. You go to the doctor if you're sick, you know, and we're supposed to be the experts to, you know, to find their dream home.
right. I think that a big part of it is that is their goal, right? Their goal is just to find a house. They don't even know what all the other nuances are. They don't even know we do anything else. This is what they know that we do. So why did they hire an agent to find the house? Do they also want our help negotiating terms and getting the right price and making sure it gets closed smoothly with the least amount of problems? Yes. But I don't think I don't think they really think about any of those things until they're in it. In the beginning, all they want to do is find a house. And so I think that's why they answer that way. The things that were in the other category, help with paperwork, 8%, determine what comparable homes are selling for, 6%, help determining how much home the buyer can afford, 4%, help find and arrange financing, 3%, help teach the buyer more about the neighborhood or the area, 2%, help find renters for a buyer's property, less than 1%, and other within the other 2%. Keep in mind, these are results from buyers being asked to state the one thing that is most important to them. Most buyers need help with paperwork or learning the neighborhood or all of those other things. Yet when asked to give just one answer, this is what they said. Think about the skills or services you offer that align with what buyers want and write these into your participant guide. So in other words, these are the needs that need to be met, right? They want you to help them find the right house, help them negotiate the terms, help them get it at the right price, do the paperwork, run the comparables to make sure they're not paying too much, help them get with a lender who can help them figure out how much home they can afford, and help them gather as much information about the neighborhood and area. We need to do all those things. So how can we put into our value proposition that we're going to meet these needs?
Without steering.
But this, yeah.
Well, I think you addressed their 52% you said, we're gonna help you find the right house, the thing. And then you start adding all the things that they're not thinking.
They're not even thinking of, and then they're like, oh,
We can help
whoa.
you,
Yeah.
with the lenders, and we can help with the paperwork, and, there's good negotiation. If there's something about the house you don't like, or something's wrong, we're gonna help you negotiate maybe the seller fixing that for you. I mean, that was a big surprise to me when we bought our house.
Right, and those are the things
I
they're
didn't
not even
realize,
thinking
oh.
about. So you address first their main concern, and then you help them to see that you're gonna do all these other things, and they're not even aware of it. Oh, how wonderful to get to work with someone who's aware of all the things I'm not aware of and knows how to handle them. Factors buyers value when choosing an agent. The agent is honest and trustworthy. That is only 20%.
I agree, I'll fit in real well, because I'm not honest and trustworthy.
The agent's experience is 19%, and the reputation of the agent is 17%.
No way.
So 44% fell into the other category, and those items were the agent is a friend or a family member. 13% valued that. Like, if I know someone that's a friend or a family member, I'm gonna work with them before somebody else. 8%. So what does that tell us? We should be, what's our goal for the last 2 hours of every day here? Reaching out to the people that we already know, people who already know us, like us, and trust us. That's what we should be doing first. If 13% value that, we need to make sure that they know that this is what we do. Agents' knowledge of the neighborhood, 8%. Agent has a caring personality, 6%. They're a good listener. Agent is timely with their responses, 6%. Agent seems 100% accessible because of the use of technology like a tablet or a smartphone.
Because it doesn't have a family.
Active in local community and volunteerism is only 1%. We could just ditch some things. We do a lot of stuff. We could ditch some things. They don't even care about it. Agents association with a particular firm is only 1%. We have to build that value by explaining to them all the wonderful things Keller Williams has to offer so they know how important it is. And then professional designations is only 1%. Well, that's interesting. We should share that at our next meeting.
What was the percentage for the fact that they're accessible because of technology?
Because of technology is only 4%.
Okay.
Mhm. So again, it doesn't mean that these things aren't important. If they have an agent who's a friend or a family member, but they don't listen, are they gonna wanna work with them? Probably not. If the agent is honest and trustworthy, but never accessible, like they still want all these things. It's just not the one top most important thing. So we still have to, we don't wanna just eliminate these things from our character or our repertoire just because they didn't say it was the one thing that was the most important. What's happening here? Right, factors. It's the same, is it not the same? I don't know what's happening, okay. If you resonate with any of these factors, consider including them in your value proposition. Let's practice taking these attributes and putting them into client-centered language. Hopefully, you'll get some ideas for when you craft your own value proposition. So, for example, agent is honest and trustworthy could be, you can depend on me to help you make the best decisions. I will work to serve your best interest. So you could take, I wish they didn't list them out for you guys. That's the problem. You can't see them. Only I can see them.
Say it again. I will work to serve your best interests.
I will work to serve your best interests.
I like that.
So again, I'll just read them to you again. You can only see these top three, but agent is honest and trustworthy, agent's experience, reputation of the agent. And then there's also agent as a friend or family member, agent's knowledge of the neighborhood, agent has caring personality, agent is timely with responses, and so on. Agent is accessible. So how could you take that need and turn it into a statement that you could use with a client to meet that need? And again, their example was, if it's important to a buyer that the agent is honest and trustworthy, I could say, you can depend on me to help you make the best decisions. I'll always have your best interest at heart. So if I were to then say, if I was looking at, I'm looking for an agent that has a caring personality and they're a good listener, I would say, it's really important to me that I know exactly what you're looking for, that I know what your needs are, that I understand your motivation in buying a home. Because the last thing that I would want is, let's see,
For you to think I don't care.
for you to think that I don't care.
Well,
I want you to understand that I have your best interest at heart. I'm here for you, and I want to make sure that we meet your needs. You guys want to throw any out there?
I love the,
Saul said,
No, he was just making a joke.
well, I think, I love this win-win thing that, I've heard it before and Keller Williams says it, one of my highest values is that it's a win-win for you and for me, and even for the people we're buying or selling from, that everybody wins. And so I'm gonna, obviously you are winning, but everyone, I think to tell people, everyone can win in these situations. There doesn't have to be a winner and a loser, I think people are afraid of losing something. So to say everyone, my goal, my value is that we all win, in that.
Okay, what do sellers want most from their agent? They want help pricing the home competitively. That is, there's 2 oranges here, so let's see. Gosh. Sorry, I'm looking at this thing, there's so many oranges, I can't figure it out. I think 21%, no wait. Yeah, I think 21% is help price the home competitively. 20% is help the seller market the home to potential buyers. 16% is help sell the home within specific time frame. And 16% is help seller find ways to fix up the home to sell it for more. And I would say that that is very accurate, because the first thing a seller will say is, well, how much do you think I can get for my house? Right? That's the first thing they say. And then, I honestly don't really have that many people ask me, how are you gonna market it? I don't think I've ever had a seller say, how are you gonna market my home? Like, I tell them, they've never asked me. But what they do let me know is when, like, oh, we gotta get down here by this time. We gotta, his job is changing here. We don't wanna do it because of the holiday. We wanna do it the week after the holiday. They'll tell you that. But a big one that people say is, I need you to come to the house and tell me what I've got to do to get it ready. And they have a lot of things in their mind that probably don't need to be done. And so I mean, my first thing is like, don't do anything until let me come and tell you what you really need to do and what you don't. Don't spend your money doing stuff that you don't need to do. Factors that they consider. 32% consider the reputation of the agent. So isn't that funny that it was so much lower on the buyer's side, the reputation, but sellers are concerned with it, 32%. Agent is honest and trustworthy is 19%. That was about the same. I think that was the same, or 1% different. Agent is a friend or family member, 17%. And then everything else falls into 44. So, oh wait, hold on, let's go back. Okay, hold on, we're gonna go back. So on what they want most from the agent, on the other, help find a buyer for the home, help with negotiation and dealing with buyers, help with paperwork, inspections, preparing for the settlement, and help the seller see homes available to purchase. So in this case, they're not that concerned with helping me find the next home. I just want you to get me the best. I want you to do the best job on selling this home, and help create and post videos to provide a tour of your home. Only 1%. Interesting. Okay, so now the factors that they take into consideration when they are choosing the agent. 44% is other. Agent's knowledge of the neighborhood. Agent has a caring personality, is a good listener. Agent's commission is only 4%. Think about how much we worry about that. We're so worried that they're gonna fight us on our commission, and they're only worried about it 4% of the time, or, Agent association with a particular firm, and agent seems 100% accessible because of the use of technology like a tablet or a smartphone. And professional designations.
So in that, when I add those up, like, I don't know exactly what is in the other, but it looks to me like 70% of it is their personal knowledge of you. Either your reputation, you're trustworthy, and the only way they know that is if they know you already, or know something about you, or you're a family member, or caring personality. I mean, it's all very personal.
Well, they don't have to know you before you sit at their table.
Referrals are really important.
If they know something about you, someone said something about you, it's not just they went online and, oh, they have a professional designation or,
Well, what if you meet them at an open house?
Yeah.
So you meet them at an open house, you've never met them before. You have to use your brief value proposition so that you can at least get a foot in the door to sit down and have that conversation with them. So you want to use your little value proposition, so you have the opportunity to come and share your larger value proposition. They don't know you, but you get the opportunity to sit down and share that with them. So that's what our value proposition is. Our value proposition is to help them to understand these things about you. You need to help them to see that that's who you are, that you can meet that need that they have, right? Let's look at the top response from what the sellers consider when choosing an agent: reputation of the agent. If you're a new agent, you may wonder if you'll be at a disadvantage because you are still in the early stages of building your reputation as a real estate agent, real estate expert. However, we encourage you to lean on the powerhouse reputation of Keller Williams as you're getting your start. For example, you can tell your potential clients, Keller Williams has a strong reputation in our market for helping people with their real estate needs in the fastest time frame and the least number of problems. Now that what are the differences between what they need? What's the differences between what buyers and sellers are looking for? And why do you think those differences exist? And some things were the same,
Well,
some things were different.
so you got sellers are looking for price the home competitively. And you've got the buyers want help finding the right home to purchase. So the buyer and the seller have the same intent in mind, meaning they want to price it so that they attract the buyer. And the buyer finding the right home to purchase is not necessarily only the layout, the floor plan, but it's also pricing. I don't know, I was just
Well,
kind of
yeah,
shot
and
in the
that was
dark.
also the help buyer negotiate the price.
Yeah.
And then also it had said about running the comparables, making sure they're not paying too much. I don't know where that is, but.
So I don't know, that was kind of a funny question.
Well, and I mean, I think the obvious answer is that buyers and sellers are in two different positions. You know, a buyer is looking to obtain an asset and a seller is looking to release an asset. If I'm looking to obtain an asset, if I'm thinking into the future, I want to get a great home at a lower price, the best possible price I can, with the least number of problems, so that after I've lived there for a while, my asset, my investment's going to increase in value, so eventually I can sell it, right, and release that asset. The seller has spent a lot of time, effort, money maintaining this home. So now they want to sell it for the most amount of money because they put so much into it. They're releasing this asset, so now they want to take the money out of it to do whatever is next in life. So they're in two different positions.
Okay.
A question back on what sellers want most for their agent. Help the seller find ways to fix up their home to sell it for more, which you commented on. Is there a list of guidelines, recommendations, do's and don'ts on what adds value? Does anybody have you obviously have something.
So what I have is more about how to make the home show in the best light. So it's gonna be more about like decluttering, making sure that it has good lighting, the furniture set up well, the floor plan shows it's clean, there's no obvious
Okay.
repairs that need to be made. But as far as honestly what adds value and doesn't, our in-house appraiser. One, there are certain things that do add value and don't add value, but also a lot of it is perspective. So if the home shows well enough, buyers are gonna see it as having value. Do you wanna share on if there's things that actually give more value?
I mean, typically you do get more bang for your buck on those like kitchen and bath improvements. But generally, you know, from an appraisalist perspective, we have to rate properties by quality levels and condition levels. So getting it into a good condition level overall. You know, some things are expensive to do, but they're maintenance items and they don't add a lot of value. You know, things like a new roof. You gotta have a functioning roof. They don't add a lot of value, but it's very costly to do. And then there's.
But having I think the way you described it at one point is it's expected to have a roof.
Yes.
So it doesn't give any value, whether it's 15 years old or, you know, 2 weeks old. But to a buyer, it might make the house more desirable, but it doesn't add dollar amounts.
I was about to go there. Yeah, there's
Yeah, okay, sorry.
definitely things that you can do that appeal to a buyer, but it may not increase the value, but it may get your home sold quicker.
What about a modest kitchen upgrade? More specifically, the appliances. It may be a new countertop, things of that nature that could add some value, or would that add value?
It could add value. Again, we look at stuff more broadly, you know, like if the rest of the house is in poor condition, but you just put in a brand new kitchen countertop. You know, but if the rest of the house is well maintained, but you brought up the kitchen to be more modern and the house was built in the 70s, but the rest of the house has been kind of updated along the way. You know, we're watching for that a more broad, you know.
And also a lot of times the things that we do to upgrade a home, I mean, you might put $20,000 into a kitchen. It may not mean that the value to the appraiser is going to actually give it $20,000 more dollars. So typically, if I had a seller who had a home that was outdated, I'm going to be more likely to say to them, we need to price the home based on its current condition. I'm not necessarily going to say, we got to get this kitchen remodeled before you can sell this home. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm just going to encourage them to sell it at the right price for what it is.
So, which raises another question, is having an appraisal done rather than just the CMA to establish the value of a house, is that to the advantage of the seller?
I mean, it's an option. Usually if I get called to do an appraisal on a property for pre-listing, it's because the agent is having a hard time finding comparables. You know, if you're in a subdivision, you know, when you have lots of sales and things like that, you can probably competently run a CMA, you know, and give them a good idea. It's usually those unique properties that I run into that an agent's looking for a pre-listing appraisal.
I wonder if you did an appraisal before the listing, would it save? It would help, you know, it would help get the property priced well. But it would also, can you use that appraisal if it's not a pre-listing appraisal, if it's just actually a genuine appraisal, can you use that appraisal as a benefit to the buyer that they don't have to pay for an appraisal?
No. You can't do that. So the bank requires, they have to order their own appraisal.
Okay.
And they have their own
Perfect.
panel of appraisals.
And that would be my only concern about getting a pre-listing appraisal, is that all appraisers are different and they see different things and they might even use different comparables. And so just because you had an appraisal that said one thing doesn't mean the appraiser that is hired by the bank says the same thing.
And what is the average cost of an appraisal? Isn't it $400, $500, $600? What is it?
So this is what I'll say on that. My average fee for an appraisal is usually $450 to $500.
Okay.
However, on your closing statement, you're probably gonna see $700, $800, $900 because there's other parties involved there that takes a chunk of that. So
Okay.
typically what you see on your settlement statements is not what's coming to me.
Okay.
Because they, you know, the lenders, there's software and there's companies that help to kind of farm out the appraisers. So when the lender orders an appraisal, it's on a lottery system. And so there's a, you know, everybody's kind of signed up with these different
Okay.
firms so that they get picked,
Mhm.
right? Am I
Yeah.
saying that in the right way?
They're appraisal management companies.
There you go, appraisal management companies.
It's a round robin.
Yes.
So what about like real like cosmetic things like paint and like wallpaper and stuff? Like if they got some do you say?
Atrocious
"Ooh,
colors."
Atrocious, like it really just hurts your eyes.
Yeah.
You say,
So things that could make a big difference and make the home more desirable to a buyer that have a smaller price tag, yes. So last fall, I had a seller, they'd already moved out of the house. It had been well lived in, and they had crazy colors, and a lot of the rooms had crazy colors, vibrant colors. And the carpet was really worn out. And it was a nice, solid home in a nice neighborhood. And I was like, buyers who are shopping in this neighborhood are not gonna be okay with the condition of this house, especially if this is the price that you wanna get. So then in that case, what I've gotta do is I've gotta run 2 sets of comparables. I'm gonna run comparables based on the condition that it is right now. And I've gotta run comparables based on, kind of the other homes in the area that maybe have a really nice neutral color of paint, that have nice fresh carpeting or some other type of flooring. What are some of the small things we could do? Could we get the landscaping cleaned up? And so that's what we did. I ran 2 sets of comparables, and then we got bids on certain items. And I said, okay, well, this is what you're gonna get right now. If you put this much into it, you're gonna get this. So if it's enough of a difference, if that makes sense. So he was
sure.
like, he didn't wanna put the time, money, effort into it unless he could make 20,000 more actually in his pocket. And that's what I had to be able to show him we could do or not. And we were able to do that. And that was with paint, carpet, landscaping, junk removal, and some plumbing items, handyman plumbing items. And so sometimes, yes, if it's smaller ticket items. But if you're gonna do like full updates of a kitchen or a bathroom, you're probably not gonna get the value back out of it.
When we were selling our first home, the realtor brought realtors through. It's like a realtor tour. And they made suggestions about what we could do to help it show better.
Were you already listed or not listed yet?
That's a great question, and it was so long ago, I don't
Can't
remember.
remember.
I have a feeling we were already listed.
Typically, that's how it happens now. We'll have like a realtor luncheon or something. If the house is having a hard time selling, we'll bring in other realtors to give feedback.
And a bunch of them suggested we should paint the kitchen cabinets, which were very dark. And so we did do that. We took a weekend and got it done and sold the house within a few days after that.
There you go.
And it didn't add any value, but it got the house sold.
And that's something, there are other people like me that do the same thing that I do, where, go in and give a consultation to your client. There's a variety of people in the area. So that's something that you can also utilize, is take in a home stager who's not necessarily there to bring furniture, but who's just there to give that advice and feedback so that they know how their home could show better. Okay, so Keller Williams technology and your value proposition. Start with your sphere. So that means get your phone out and figure out who needs to go into your database. Keller Williams is committed to adding to your value proposition. In today's market, that means investing in technology that propels your business forward. Being a Keller Williams agent means that the essentials you need to start building your brand and nurturing relationships are available to you as Keller Williams agents. Here are just a few of the features that Command provides for you and your clients. Smart plans. Track your contacts and leads with customized intelligence and build deeper, more meaningful relationships with your entire sphere. Did that just tell you guys what smart plans were? No, okay.
Told us what they
So a
do.
Smart plan
Or how they're benefiting.
is kind of like a campaign, but what it really is, a smart plan is
Reminder.
it's a reminder system.
It's a
Of
reminder
when-
with ideas of how to remind them, instead of just calling them up and say, hey, do you remember I'm a real estate agent?
No, it's a reminder to us
It's a
of
reminder
the
to
things
the
that we need
agent
to do.
of what we need, how we can follow, how and when we can follow up. So it's gonna tell, I could set a smart plan for somebody that I just want a reminder once a year of their home anniversary. It's been a year since you bought your house. Now it's been 2 years since you bought your house. Everything's still going okay? It could be a smart plan for their birthday. It could be the neighborhood nurture, which would go out to them every 2 weeks based on the neighborhood that they live in. It can also be, like we talked about, that 8x8. So they've got smart plans that are 8x8. They've got a smart plan of like, I'm gonna follow up with them 5 times. One time's gonna be a handwritten card, one's gonna be a phone call, one's gonna be a text, one's gonna be an email. And it can get, some of them actually, they've been produced by both Keller Williams and they've been produced by other agents, and you can shop them within Command. And they'll actually have the language for you to use. So I'm not great at them, but there are people that are, and there's classes for it. And I would encourage you, hopefully, I know in 2 weeks Cassie's teaching, and she's awesome with smart plans. So you should pick her brain.
Yes, because you can't just pick the Spark plan. You need to take a look at it to make sure that it's.
And you have to set it
fits
up.
you.
Yeah, you have to set it up and you have to make sure it's working properly.
Right.
And yeah. The Keller Williams app, an end-to-end consumer app using the power of AI, machine learning, and your expertise to communicate, provide transaction transparency, and remind clients of your value well after they've closed on a home. And then also Agent Sites allows contacts to save searches for homes, allows agents to create searches on behalf of, oh my gosh, contacts and clients.
Question, yeah, we talked about the KW app yesterday, and you had the thing on there about logging in or whatever. And it said to log in as an agent with
Keller
your
Williams credentials.
Keller Williams credentials.
Yeah.
Okay, so you do log in as an agent to the KW app, not just as a person.
No.
On yours, you'll log in as you. When you send it to them, they'll be able to create a login as a client.
Okay, so I guess I'm having trouble logging in as an agent.
Then you want to talk to Nicole,
Okay,
because she's with technology and she could tell you what your credentials are. I think it's the same thing that you're logging into Command with. Did you try
except that
that?
I changed my password for Command.
Well, it's still the same.
Should be whatever you're logging in with now, I think, but check with
That's
that.
what I tried, and it's not working, so I
I
will
did the
check
same
with her.
thing. I tried it and it didn't work for me either.
Okay,
That might be the wrong.
right, okay.
Maybe you guys just aren't cut out to be.
I mean, she gave me generic
Well, maybe
password.
when we get to our success system time, I'll convince her to come down here.
That would be so nice.
and see if she-
That would
I'll
be
see if
so
she-
great.
How can we incorporate technology into our value proposition? Why do our clients care that we have access to this technology?
I mean, don't other firms have technology like this? They don't?
I don't think so.
Okay, well, so then in that sense, it sets us
I mean,
apart,
they might probably have electronic signature software.
right?
I don't think they have apps. I mean, I don't know. I mean, like a local brokerage isn't necessarily gonna have an app. There might be some other nationwide that do. I mean, most
The bigger
people,
you get, the more they have probably, but
most people are probably using Realtor, Trulia, or Zillow apps as
Right.
opposed to their brokerage app.
Okay,
In this case, you've got your very own app that they could be using instead of those. Here's how I use mine.
Okay.
I will say that I probably don't share it enough with my clients themselves. I use it when I have an open house and I want to, in case I can't get that person's information, I at least want them to have mine.
okay.
So I'll say, hey, we've got a great app. You can use it to search all the properties. It's a little bit faster than Realtor and Zillow. It's gonna be more accurate. I can shoot you a link if you want it. And so then I'll send that out to them, because if they download it, then every time that they're looking for something, they're seeing me. I really probably don't share it enough with my clients, but I'm also often managing their searches pretty closely.
Right, okay.
I'll probably ask Nicole some questions about this, because this says, with my innovative technology, I meet you where you are. You can handle, we can handle most of our transactions through your phone or laptop. It's all about convenience for you. So it makes me wonder if there's a way for them to see parts of their transaction. Is there a way to do the electronic signatures through the app or to access it? I mean, most of that usually just goes to the email, so I'm not really sure. I'm not very good with technology myself, so I'm not great about sharing it.
I do feel like, to a certain extent, it gives them a little bit of control or input, where instead of you, hey, I've got these homes for you to see that I found, they can also look and.
The only, I do this on a client by client basis, whether or not I want them searching or I want to be searching for them. Because clients will tell you exactly what they need and why they need it, and yet they will search for things that do not meet their criteria.
Yeah.
Or that aren't
Guilty.
falling within the type of financing, or not even in the price point that they said that they needed, or that they're qualified for. And so some people, you know, they're very clear they're clear about their qualification, and they're clear about their needs. And they can search away. But some people, I'm gonna set a search and I'm gonna keep it private. I don't even want it to go out to them until I've seen it and I can make sure this truly meets their needs. And part of that is about respecting ourselves and respecting our time. Because if they're setting the search and they're monitoring the search, they're gonna wanna see all kinds of things, and you're gonna be running around like a chicken with your head cut off. If I'm managing their search, I'm only gonna send them the things that I know meet their needs, and we're only gonna see the right homes. We're not gonna spend our time seeing the wrong homes.
When they take them to the wrong home on House Hunter, that wasn't even what they asked for.
But you know that on House Hunter, they've already got a home under contract, and then they filmed 2 other homes. It's all lies. All
Balloon
lies.
popped.
I think that, like, we have so many resources. And it's just like when we're building our value proposition, if I say, if I'm lacking in an area, I'm probably not even gonna address that area. I'm gonna tell you all the places where I shine, that can help make up for this one place where I'm lacking. We can utilize so many things to do our jobs, but we also don't have to utilize some things. So Brian Fisher, he's a technological genius, and he utilizes smart plans. He speaks it's a foreign language to me. I can't understand what he's talking about. He's using AI like nothing you've ever seen. And that he's good at it. It speaks to him. It works for him. He understands it. I don't use any of that, but it doesn't mean I don't have a successful business. You know what I mean? Like, so use what you love that makes your job enjoyable. And if you're not good at it, unless you really need it, I mean, if you need it to do your job, you better get good at it. But if you don't really need it to do your job, get really good, master the things you need to do your job. And then if there's something else that you enjoy, like Maria and I enjoy social media. Do we have to make reels to be a good agent?
Yes.
No, but it sure does make our day fun. You know what I mean?
Okay, yeah, all right, that's right.
Okay, any ahas?
Well, I
And
think.
we gotta go fast. I'm behind. I'm already behind.
Oh my goodness, you're.
No, I'll-
I'm gonna speed through the next part. What's your ahas?
Just the app, it's more up to date and accurate than Zillow, because Zillow is a little bit behind as far as show's still active and it's not active, it's sold, so.
Hey, Mary, I see your message. Can you type your phone number into the text, into the chat? Sorry, go ahead. Were you gonna say something, David? Was that you?
What's that?
Somebody getting ready to say something and I talked over you?
Yes, I said it, but I'm not gonna repeat it.
Oh, no, I heard what you said. I thought somebody started to talk right after that. Okay, Mary, hold on. Mary wants me to send her my app so that she can see what it looks like coming from a client's perspective. Okay, hold on, I gotta log in. Do you use a username or an email when you log into Command? Mine's a username.
I do too, I have a username as well.
And it's probably just the first initial of your first name and then your last name.
There, yeah,
Maybe try that and see.
okay. It says write your email. I'll try it.
Okay, Mary, I just sent it. Okay, ready? We've covered what a value proposition is and why we must have one to express the values we provide and the benefit to our customers. We also covered what buyers and sellers have expressed as most important to them. These can be guidelines for how to design your value proposition. So again, I'll say it again. Take their needs, take their problems, take their challenges, take what they're concerned about, what they're worried about, and answer that problem before they have to express it, right? That's what our value proposition is. It's our way of telling them how we're gonna solve the problem that they didn't even have to tell us yet that they had. So that was just like what we read. So when we read the value propositions of the different companies, Airbnb, Walmart, they answered the client's problem. They solved the problem before it was expressed. That's our job. That's our value proposition. That's what we need to provide them. Now that we've learned the basics of the value proposition, we're going to talk about how to define your own. There are 3 steps to define your value proposition. Identify your knowledge, attitudes, skills, and beliefs that make you qualified to be a great real estate agent. So there may be some things that are unique to you, but there may also be some things that, it's the same thing. Like Ann and I probably both really love checklists and we're not gonna miss a thing, right? And Brett and I are both very caring people. We care very deeply for our clients. So we don't have to only stand out. We can have some things that stand out and we can have some things that are the same. But the most important thing is that we're solving their problem. We are here as the experts to solve their problem. Transform the value you provide and the value of Keller Williams and your market center into benefits for your clients. And then build your value proposition statement. Step 1, identify your knowledge, attitudes, skills, and beliefs that make you qualified to be a great real estate agent. To break this down, you might ask yourself, what do I bring to the job? What attitudes am I bringing to the job? What skills do I offer? What beliefs do I offer? Take a couple minutes on that.
Not sure what the difference is between attitudes and beliefs. But I don't suppose it really matters. Your attitudes, example, committed. Your beliefs, example, integrity.
I mean,
I'm not saying that committed equals integrity, but I'm saying they seem like the same type of answer.
one is more like, your general belief system, your values. Wait, what's the other one? General beliefs.
Your attitudes and your beliefs.
Right, and then your attitude is how you project those.
Oh,
So like, through positivity, through perseverance, through, I don't know. I'm brainstorming that with you.
right.
Does anybody want to share anything? Even if it's just a one word about yourself. Or a past experience that you had.
Okay, I'll do it since nobody else will. I have 21 years of experience. I'm caring and persistent, and the ability to use technology to find both buyers and sellers. And my beliefs are honesty, and I believe that both parties should win, win-win. And I could go on, but I won't.
Hey, I love it. Anybody else want to share any of your qualities, attitudes?
I take a positive approach to challenges, and solving problems.
Perfect, I love that one. Anybody else?
That's Liliana. She's got to have something to say.
Okay, so step 2, transform the value you provide and the value of Keller Williams and your market center into benefits. So let's see. Think through how your knowledge, attitudes, skills, beliefs can be a benefit to your clients. Many of your life experiences can be relevant to real estate. If you don't see it, look at it from another angle. Even if you haven't articulated it to yourself, you have already used your experience to help others. Perhaps you were a teacher or a little league coach. You have experience helping others. How did your personal experience make you especially helpful? How could you use this in the future? When considering how to make real estate relevant, think about what buyers and sellers say is most important to them. So in other words, take what you've done in the past and figure out how that could also apply to real estate. Now think through how the value you receive from Keller Williams and your market center can be beneficial to your clients as well. Let's say that your market center averages 98.9% of listing price. When meeting with a potential client, you could share that statistic with them. However, it does not convey the full scope of your value to your clients. Instead, you could say, you get the best sales price for your home due to my thorough training and negotiation. You can also think about the services you offer that are made faster, more convenient, or more accurate when you use Keller Williams technology. Dun, 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 dun. Honestly, I love that example they gave. We have stats for the area that show like what percentage, there's the average percentage that homes are selling for. It would be very interesting to then break it down by just KW listings and see how it compares to the market overall locally. I'd love to see that. So that'd be something really cool to share. Okay, now build your value proposition statement. Now we will move to step 3, build your value proposition. The strongest value proposition for your clients combines the value you offer backed by the value offered by Keller Williams and your market center. Remember that it's not about perfection. Your value proposition will most likely change as you learn new skills and gain more experience as an agent. Okay, I want you all to be bold, and I want you to spend a couple of minutes and actually write down a value proposition. Remember, it doesn't have to be perfect.
There's a big space here. How long does it need to be? It's like, we're talking one sentence,
There's an example.
3. I mean, I see it as one sentence example. Is that
Will you
what,
read the
is that
example?
the ideal?
I don't think I have the
As you
example.
navigate your real estate transaction, I provide service that is dedicated and personalized to your needs by using the KW app to stay connected with you.
That's one that's specifically using technology as a component. So yes, short and sweet, but it doesn't have to necessarily be one sentence. It could be 1, 2, 3 sentences, but this one is more of your statement versus, you know, if you had a listing consultation guide that they might sit down and read, you might spell things out more thoroughly in like a paragraph style, but in this case, it's just a statement.
Well, they're saying to take one of the benefits from the first table and one of the benefits from the second and make the statement. So since their examples were integrity and the KW app, you can combine those two to make the statement.
Okay.
So each statement is not necessarily combining everything we've thought about or written about. Does that make sense?
But I want you to write a value proposition for you.
Okay.
And you can use those as guides. You can use those items there. If you see one that you're like, that's me. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Anybody want to share their value proposition? Even if it's not perfect.
I only share perfect things.
No, David, no.
Okay, you ready?
Yes.
With my 20 years of helping people and the backing of 500 local agents, we will be able to achieve your goals.
Nice.
The only thing I would add is real estate goals.
Okay?
That's good. Love it.
You must have picked up off me.
What's
My
yours?
21 years of experience, along with my caring and persistent attitude and the use of technology to find buyers and sellers, will guide us to a win-win answer to your real estate needs.
Get all those buzzwords in there. That's very good.
I am committed to providing honest and ethical service and assisting you to meet your real estate goals. With 20 years of experience in the local market, extensive knowledge of market analysis, and the resources and support of Keller Williams Network, I haven't finished my sentence. I'm trying to figure a way to wrap it together.
I like it.
I'll help you meet your real estate needs.
a little repetitive.
Just follow the theme, follow the theme. Ann, still working on yours?
It's a work in progress. Something about, after listening to your needs, and we'll keep working persistently to either find what you want or to sell your home, utilizing the backing or the support of the Keller Williams Network, as well as my own knowledge. I don't know how to say this succinctly, my own knowledge of the area after living here for over 18 years. I thought this was succinct.
You know what you could do? You could put all of that into ChatGPT and rewrite it for you in a really beautiful way.
Okay, you guys are gonna.
Wonder if that's gonna be like a GPS and make us lazy. Cause it's kind of making me lazy, all right? I use it a lot. That's like pretty cool.
Yeah.
So I told my friend, I said, if I ever send you something that, how nice did I say? I said, if I ever send you something that doesn't sound like me, because I had GEI write it, or AI write it.
Mary said, I am led by Jesus, powered by KW, and here to serve you. I love it, Mary. Richard, how about you?
Powered by KW. That's pretty
I
good.
have 30.
You can tell she's been in sick.
I limited to 30 because I don't want to think I'm old, too old, so. I have 30+ years of marketplace experience related to financial management, business administration, real estate contract negotiations, and civil and family mediation available to you as a client.
Love that. I honestly really love that you threw in the part about family mediation. What did you, what was is that the term you used? What'd you say?
Civil and family mediation.
Yeah, because honestly, real estate transactions become very emotional. And not just between the buyer and the seller, but also within the family unit as well. There's a lot happening, whether it's between the husband and the wife, you know, with kids. Sometimes you're even dealing with a probate situation. So I think that is an excellent thing to bring to the
I'll
table.
plug something here if I could. So the university here, part of their extension is a conflict resolution course that is certified. It's one of, there are a few of them throughout the nation in regional areas, and we have one right here in town. I recommend it highly, so,
And is that through MSU?
yeah, conflict resolution.
I would love to take
And
it.
I took it probably 10 years ago, and unbelievable insight that they train you in dealing with not just family, but business as well. And there is a trend in the business sector to use mediators now rather than pay for attorneys.
Yeah,
It's a lot less expensive. And a lot of your court cases, including a divorce, they'll require a mediation session with the couple before the judge will sign off on divorce. Worth your time and expense.
I would love that. All right, any ahas? And then we get to move on to our success systems. Ahas from the whole day.
AHA was with the help of this, come on, dude, spit it out. With the help of this curriculum, let's use that. It was pretty easy to build a value proposition. How's that sound?
Kind of walked you through the
Yeah.
process, yeah.
So this is what ChatGPT, this is how it improved my statement. It said, with 2 decades of dedicated experience in assisting individuals like yourself, coupled with the robust support of a network comprising 500 local agents, I am confident in our ability to seamlessly navigate the real estate journey together and successfully achieve your property goals.
Love it. Now now you gotta say that in the mirror
I make
every day.
make that 20% smaller.
I was gonna
right?
say, yeah, you
Yeah.
can just say, make it a little shorter.
Yeah.
Ahas. Okay, are we ready to move on to our, okay, so do we all remember what our success system is?
Oh, yes, I like that one.
Okay, so here's how we're supposed to be spending this time. What, Nicole?
I'm throwing him under the bus.
Oh, I was like, I didn't forget about Nicole. What were you?
No, I was just giving him a hard time. Totally a private conversation.
Okay.
I have that classroom activity.
Okay, so the way we're supposed to be spending this time is we're supposed to do a little role play with a partner. But if you guys will promise me that you're going to connect with your accountability partners and schedule time with them to do a little role play together, I'll let you off the hook on that one. And then 10 minutes of preparing a call list, 45 minutes of calling people, texting people, writing your cards, and then 30 minutes of updating your database with the information that you gathered from your conversations.
Great.
So our success system is 10 conversations, 10 contacts added to your database, 10 handwritten notes. Here's some note cards if you don't have any. 10, 5, 1 social media. So that was 10 likes, 5 comments, and 1 direct message. And then your enrichment activities. Where's our enrichment activities? Here's your do not call. Do not call people on the do not call list. And I engage every conversation in the spirit of contribution, and people are happy to be in relationship with me.
Oh, that's right. So on the do not call list, if they're your friend, and they're on the do not call list,
Did they
You
give
can
you,
call them.
did they
There's
give you
your-
your
calling to talk about real estate,
you're not calling to talk about real estate. You're calling to talk about them first and you second. And when they say, girl, what you been up to? You'll say, I just became a realtor. Mhm. Yeah, it'll be fine. If they gave you your phone number, if they gave you their phone number, you have permission to call them.
okay, that works.
I'm gonna leave this on the screen while we work, but I'm gonna just skip ahead and just make sure didn't miss anything. So here's your role play that you'll do with your accountability partner at a later date. Prepare your conversation list, that's who you're gonna call. Have those real conversations, call some people, text them. And then put things into your database, and then we will celebrate your success.
Wine and cheese or what?
Oh, I'm not opposed to that. It is Friday. It's Friday. Also, feel free to move your body.
Thank you.
Do you wanna do this accountability?
So she was just asking, as we got started, have you met with your accountability partner? I'd say, no. But we can decide when we're gonna meet at another time. You can have a phone call, I'm sure. I guess it's about role playing and just checking in. How did did you meet with your boss?
That's why I was late.
Yeah, how did that go?
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, good. I'm still trying to absorb it all.
Hmm.
So I got 3 months. Well, actually 4, because there's a separate, anyway, it's closer to me,
Nice.
but. Yeah. So they're not actually gonna tell our supporters until like April.
Oh, okay.
So
That-
then that leaves me in a
sorta
really
hamper
awkward
you.
position. We're
Yeah.
trying to work that out, like. And I'm not sure. He's kind of new.
Oh, okay.
He might not have it all together. He might not know exactly the way it's gonna work.
Right.
So, but it was good news.
Okay.
But
That does sort of
what's that?
that does sort of hamper you then.
Yeah, it's, all those people are like, it would just be, the only way they would know is through our social group.
Hmm.
So it's kind of the social media component that would be, I mean, everyone here locally in Springfield. Like, these people are mainly, well, they're all over the country, but mainly in Illinois.
Oh,
And the
okay.
only way they have contact with us, like in our day-to-day is
Oh,
through.
okay. So then you could be reaching out to people.
Oh,
via
yeah, yeah.
Text or phone or.
But he may not have all that right. They may send a letter to all those people next week or 2 weeks and say. Not very many people resign. Like,
Okay.
we're lifers.
Okay,
People get into this and they stay for life.
okay.
So, not that it's not that it's unheard of, but usually people retire out,
Mhm.
so. Process is not 100% known.
Hello, hi,
And
is
that's
this
what I
Mrs.
was
Burns?
Doing, so.
Hi, appreciate you taking the call. This is Brad.
Kind of a-
I'm with Tri-Lake Realty here in Stockton.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah, I hear that.
And just to be real quick, it's kind of a little bit slow right now, so I'm kind of looking for work and I was just calling around the area. Reaching out to people that might be thinking of selling a home or buying a home this year.
yeah, it's just that it was the act of actually
Yeah.
talking to them.
Yeah.
Okay,
We've all been out here for a long time.
I know.
That's
You know, we're
fair.
gonna die on the spot.
Uh-oh, so the only way you're going is feet first, huh?
Exactly.
Uh-oh, okay.
Right.
Well, yeah, I appreciate that. Anyway, this is Brad and Tri-Lake Realty is just right there on South Street across from Sonic in Stockton. Yeah, so anyway, all right, well, hey, I appreciate your time and if anything comes up, keep me in mind. and
10 people you can reach out to today. that
Stay
would-
warm, take care.
Today, yeah. Oh,
Bye-bye.
I can do that today.
All right.
Have you been doing that?
Well, right now I didn't notice that this was here yesterday. So right now I'm writing down the people I reached out to
Yeah.
yesterday.
Okay,
Now I'm
so
gonna
you
write
did
it down.
yesterday as well? Are you
I,
able to?
I took Mary's model and I started texting people and saying I've been challenged to get email addresses.
How'd that go?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think I got them all.
Did you? So
Yeah.
people are happy to, is this your like family,
They're just,
close friends?
but here's one thing. I didn't reach out to just anybody that was in my list. I reached out to people I've been conversing with recently. So all but one of them had already known about the Realtor thing. But I'm not just gonna say to somebody I haven't talked to in 3 years, but they're in my list, hey, I'm a Realtor and would you give me your email address because I've been challenged? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it does limit the people that I can do this with.
Well, start with the low hanging fruit, the easy
Right.
ones first, right?
Right. So today, what I thought I was gonna work on was, maybe, doing some stuff on Facebook. Not just the 1051, but like, when you set up your page, you can ask all your friends to like it.
Yeah, yeah.
And I hadn't done that
Have you
yet, because
set
I
up a
wanted to get my
business?
headshot back and all of that stuff.
Have you
and
set up
get
a
it-
business?
Yes,
business?
yes.
Yeah, so yesterday, I think I sent out about 30 or 40 friend requests. People that
Oh.
Facebook suggested to me. I'm
Okay,
like, oh yeah, because I haven't, last 2 years since
I
COVID.
know.
I've
That would
been
be good. Hi,
disconnected from social media.
Hello.
We need you.
I got the phone call, I got the text. Okay, KW app, which one is it? The red one with the white KW or the white one with the red KW?
Well, I thought the
The-
red one is command, so we're talking about the
Correct.
white one.
The white one.
So you need to create a profile. That's a personal profile. So you need to create an account
Okay,
using a personal email. If you use your KW email, it's not a big deal.
Hello, hi,
That's
is this
fine.
Mr. Burns?
All right, so
Hi, I appreciate you
You
taking
have
the
to
call.
create an
This is
account, select
Brad.
yourself as an agent,
I'm
so you can
with,
start sharing.
Tyler
it.
Realty here in Stockton. I'm the broker.
yourself as an agent.
And,
So create a-
the reason I'm
create a
calling
profile
is,
first.
I
I
did
think things are
that.
kind of slow. I'm looking for some work and was just calling around the area. I
called you back.
I know, I
Thinking about buying
I
or
called you
selling.
back
one.
right after you called me, so I thought it was up front and I didn't know where it was.
I found the phone right after I called.
Okay. Well, I appreciate you taking time.
You can
to-
sit there.
to-
I know,
to
I'm just
Take the call and
directing.
hope your
Showing.
afternoon goes well.
How about?
Thank you for coming down.
Take care. Bye-bye.
So where it says more in the bottom right corner. Are you in?
I gotta get logged in. I gotta remember my
Okay.
stinking password.
Okay.
So which password, are we making up a new
You
password?
make, this is your account that
This
you're,
is something
you're
different,
creating.
okay.
Yep, because you're utilizing this as a consumer. So throw all your agent knowledge out the window because this is your consumer app.
That's my problem.
So you're
okay.
using it as a consumer. You're not utilizing it like a ton. You're only using it to share it. Okay, so it's like you're sharing it to all your clients that you're working with.
So, okay,
Right.
so the instructions told us to log in, that we're in this course, told us to log in as an agent with our Command and Connect credentials
Yeah,
to the
that's right.
KW app. I took a picture, I can show you
Yeah.
what the screen shows.
Just do it as a consumer. Or if you do it as an agent, it's fine too. So it's
Well, we
fine.
couldn't, that was the thing, is we couldn't log in as an agent.
So you have to create an account. If
Right.
they do not create one for you, you
If
have to
they
create your
log in
own.
as a consumer, are they able to then share their?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's still tied to your name and stuff. It's just I just say use a personal email, so you're using it as a consumer.
Instructions.
And then your command app is your agent app. Yeah,
Dagnabbit, what did I use as
Yep,
my silly
that's it.
password?
Okay, so the first time,
so create a profile.
Okay, so I'm on the right area.
Yep,
Okay,
that's the right app.
One other.
Yeah, what's up?
I think it's gonna kick me out. I've tried. so
And
many
gal
times.
upstairs tried to help me with this, but
Okay.
I'm trying to add
Well,
my.
it's just a
Keller
personal-
KW?
somebody else.
Yeah.
I forgot my password.
And I tried and I got hung up in there.
Oh, I'm in.
on this, the first time I signed in. it came in
Enter your
someone else.
KW email.
Well, that's weird.
I'll be right back. What's up?
I came in under someone else. I got this app from someone else's QR code.
Yep, so you'll go ahead and
Yes, hi, is this Mrs. Burton? Yeah, hi, is this Mrs. Burton?
type your name in. I just removed her and
All
you
right,
just
okay.
put your information in.
Appreciate you taking the
Yeah.
call. This is
All right, so
Brad,
more.
Tri-Lake Realty here in Stockton.
Find an agent, type your name in, select yourself
And
as the
I'm
agent.
simply, just
Yep.
calling around.
Perfect,
here
I'm in.
looking
Thank you.
for People that might be thinking about maybe buying or selling real estate this year.
Type in your
Just wanted to
password. This
look
is
at
case
it.
sensitive, your other one is not.
Okay.
So if you have not changed it, then it's gonna be whatever I gave you.
Okay, so now
Okay,
I'm,
Sorry if I stole your room.
Oh, no. We didn't have one scheduled.
Okay.
I like your
Uh-huh.
shoes.
so now
Okay,
I'm next.
so
I
I
talked
don't-
you
I
up to
probably don't
that
have
as
that.
being the smart
It's
plan.
Tri-Lake
Your
Realty, it's
password?
right there on
Yeah,
South Side.
I got it at home.
Across from-
Have you changed it or have you?
No, it's the same. I just have it.
Good for you.
Okay.
I guess it's been long enough.
Exactly. And you say you're
Few
living
days or
in
weeks or so I can
Humansville now,
find myself
or?
again.
February, whatever February is. No, then
But I had created a personal account.
So-
I appreciate your time and I hope
Be
you
around
stay
now.
down.
I'm like the second
Okay,
week.
so spring of Monday. This is another.
Appreciate it.
Okay, thank you.
Calendar, calendar.
You're welcome.
All right,
Okay.
can we connect with ourselves?
I know how far we
Right.
are already into.
Confirm.
We're just in
Okay.
the first week right now.
Ann is now your agent and is ready to work with you.
Cool.
Okay,
Now go back.
all right.
So I was getting ready to pull up. Okay.
I teach here.
Maybe?
Oh, you teach the last week.
Yeah, I guess I teach.
Refer?
Now it's just refer, but no, you don't
Yeah,
wanna do that.
that's
What
right.
you
'Cause
want to
this
do is
Blake
just
is
go
in
with
there
that.
This is the transaction.
You can also just like
Yeah, I
slide
think
out.
so. He's in, I think there's a couple of them this week, maybe.
Yeah, just
'Cause I
like,
feel like there was,
just like
yeah, so
exit out
I'm
of that
doing,
completely. Try going back in.
I think I'm
Like,
doing one with buyers and sellers and then, off, make
Oh,
and receive offers.
Yeah, close it. Oh, sorry.
Negotiations,
yeah, close it out,
and then.
you know.
Which one are you
Alright.
guys in?
So now, when you do this,
Now when I do what?
share
One
the
with-
app.
one with buyers,
Right,
one with
okay.
sellers, make and receive offers,
Share the app.
negotiations.
Oh.
Now it'll share it
me.
with your information. Yep.
I know, I just did that
Okay.
today.
I think.
I know.
Cool.
So that whole login as
I
an
know.
agent
It was
thing
funny when
was
they put it on, it was
absolutely.
orange, I was like.
It's very possible that they changed that. This is just how I taught it, how I learned it.
I was like, oh, and they go, that matches your sweatshirt, and I said, I know, it's Chiefs red. Gotta pray for some wind so we can have a party.
I don't know. This was a couple years ago. This is just, the other way
I
works
don't
just
think
as
we're gonna wanna get
well.
together for
Okay.
a Super Bowl
Fine.
that
All right.
doesn't have the Chiefs at my house, but maybe.
I mean, I
You
still
think
will.
you would still want to? We thought about doing
I don't
karaoke.
come for the game.
That's right, you don't come for the game.
If the Chiefs are in it, I come for the game.
Is there anything else?
Will you,
I had a personal tech question, but
Okay.
The only other thing, we we just had a brief mention of smart plans.
Yeah. I'm teaching next Thursday.
Perfect.
I'm
She's
doing-
teaching the smart
so
plans.
If you're in coaching, then I'm teaching a workshop on smarter smart plans because they just did a whole new launch on it last week.
So that's the Thursday workshop at 10 o'clock.
Correct.
Okay,
And then I'm also teaching it next month as a class.
okay, so
to anyone.
not in Ignite, okay, guys? Everyone listening?
Yes.
This
Say
is
that.
outside of Ignite.
Hmm.
Next Thursday at 10 o'clock, the coaching workshop is Smart Plans.
Yep, that's right.
And then she's also teaching it as a class for everyone
End of February,
And-
after Ignite.
after Ignite ends.
Yeah.
But I will tell you this, Shanna will not turn you away if you come to the
Yeah.
workshop.
Yeah.
next, And you're not yet signed up in coaching.
Yep, totally
I
fine.
think at least
Because I think I'm teaching the whole
all of us
workshop.
are in coaching. Richard, are you in coaching?
Well, no,
No, okay.
No, you talked to Shanna though.
Yes.
If you want to come next Thursday, more than
Yeah.
welcome. It's open. Especially because like yesterday's topic was like, marketing newsletters and stuff, and that's kind of like anything, so feel free. But yeah, I'm teaching next Thursday, Smarter Smart Plans.
Before you leave, back to the app you were working on, they just logged in as a person.
Yeah, just create an account just as a person.
Personal
Because
email.
you add yourself as your agent and then you can share it and that information goes with the app.
Gotcha,
Because you're basically also referring your agent.
gotcha.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah.
And then Anne had a question.
Yeah.
Okay. So back to this again. I'm sorry. So this is
Google
the
Drive.
email.
Yep.
Okay, so this gives me the new associate info. And then you said I can back out of here to get to a bigger folder or the folder that it's in?
So click on the little arrow next to new agent or new associate information. Okay, click on the little. Maybe it doesn't let you do it.
So now here's another thing. In the Facebook group, there was a link to this one.
Mhm.
Is that all I need, or is there a larger one that has both of them?
No, it's a larger one. I'll post it on the internal page because
Okay,
everybody needs it.
okay, great.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. I thought it would let you just go backwards.
Yeah, apparently, it's only the specific file it lets me have access to.
Yeah, okay, I'll share it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes. You're welcome.
Yes.
So this stuff is probably just a little outdated. And maybe you used to be able to log in as the agent or something and they decided to. Would DMing also count as a conversation?
If they respond, right, two-way conversation with, in any form.
Hey, hi, is this Mr. Carter? Hey, I appreciate you taking the call. This is Brad. I'm with Tri-Lake Realty here in Stockton. Yeah, the reason I'm calling just real quickly is just getting things put together for this upcoming year. Things are kind of slow right now, but looking for people that might be thinking of selling a home or buying a home this year. Do you know of anyone? You don't? Not even you, huh? Okay. Well, I appreciate your time on the phone. Hope you stay warm this afternoon, and if you ever decide to, keep my name in mind. I'm Tri-Lake Realty. I'm right across from Sonic there on South Street. Yeah. Okay. It's Brad, yeah. I've been, Tri-Lake Realty's been there for about, I don't know, 3 or 4 years now, I think, but anyway. Hey, I appreciate your time. I'll let you get back to what you're doing. Take care, bye.
You have a commercial department here. Commercial.
Yes, Carrie Tennis.
Richard, they have a, let me see if it's still on the calendar. We have a meeting about once a month, I think, where several commercial agents will kind of get together and answer questions and
Here.
they have had it several times. I'm gonna look and see
Okay.
if it's something they're still
That'd be
doing.
great.
I don't see it on this month's schedule, but it has, in the past, it's been, I think it was on a Friday at noon, and so they may not have it this month because of Ignite.
Okay,
But I think Jason Massengill is the one who schedules it.
okay.
But Jason and, Brett Smiley, Carrie Tennis, what's the other one? Jennifer Grove. Those are some.
Involved in that.
Mhm.
This is Brad. May I help you? Hey, what's going on? I talked to the listing agent and they're reaching out to the seller right now to, get some, present the offer. And so I haven't heard a result yet, but I will, I'll reach out to them, reach out to the agent this afternoon and see if they've gotten any updates. But right now I haven't heard anything yet. Okay, what are you up to? Yeah. Uh-oh. Mm-hmm.
like what's going on it.
Right, right.
But by the time I got out there, too late, they were doing all that.
Ah, yeah,
Whatever.
gotcha. Do you reach out to Bolivar schools too, or?
Now, I'm trying to kind of just feel like the smaller ones right now.
Yeah, I gotcha. Just to get some experience.
But if I don't hear anything from any of the smaller ones,
Mhm.
and then that comes.
Yeah, yeah, cool, 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 cool. Well, good luck out there, and as soon as I get some info, I'll let you know. Okay, take care, bye.
darn it. At the tone, please record your message. When you finish recording, you may hang up.
See you Monday.
Have a great weekend. Question. So in choosing who to like and comment and whatnot on social media, I'm seeing that I don't really have a lot of friends that are local. I totally get the power of referral from far away, but it also seems like, especially as I'm starting out my business, it might be wise to concentrate more on local as I'm trying to.
You have some local friends?
I mean, I do and I am, but and I guess I'm asking for confirmation. Does it make more sense to work on the locals more than the faraways?
Probably.
Yeah.
And so what I would do is I would, maybe if you have a list, or you can go to your friends list and maybe say to yourself, this person's local, this one's not. And then actively go to their page.
Right.
Like something,
That's what I-
comment on something. That's probably what I would do.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, we don't want to forget about our out-of-town people that we can, build those relationships too.
Right.
But yeah, probably. I mean, because a lot of times, people that are moving into the area are gonna get referred by somebody who lives in the area. And people who are already living here, buying and selling here or living, and so
Right.
I would focus probably on that, building that,
Yeah.
strengthening that.
So here's another question. I have my first page made. It's got, profile picture and whatnot, and like 1 or 2 posts. And so Facebook says you can invite other friends to like it, which obviously I want to do at some point. But part of me, it's like, okay, I have been on Facebook for almost a year. And all of a sudden I'm jumping back on and I'm commenting and liking, and then, oh, look, she became a realtor and she wants me to like the page. How convenient. Like, I would notice that. Like, when a high school friend befriended me, actually, she wasn't even a friend, she was a gal I knew in high
She
school.
tried to send.
And then she was,
Okay.
yeah, it was that drink, whatever that's called, but yeah, same idea. Yes, Plexus, she was after me for Plexus, I'm just like, okay, now I understand why you befriended me. So is that a limiting belief on my part? Should I just send it out?
I don't know why, this is my gut instinct.
Mhm,
Make a post every day,
mhm,
something.
mhm,
And when you have 5 posts,
mhm.
then send it out.
Okay, I'll do that. Okay,
That way there's something for them to see. If
yes,
they do go to it and look at it.
yes,
A lot of times people will just say, okay, like, that they won't necessarily go to the page. They'll wait for something to pop up maybe. But But that way there's a little something there for them to see. The way I look at my Facebook page is, for me, websites are gonna be a thing of the past. Like people don't always go to websites anymore. They look up a lot of things on social media. So for me, my social media is credibility, not necessarily expecting, I mean, I do think that people, forget. Like I said yesterday, like I have more Facebook friends than I have business page followers. So more people are gonna see my things if I am posting them to my personal page.
Right.
That's how people know that I'm a realtor. But then at the same time, if they were to share, if they were to send me a referral, they'd be like, here, check out my friend, here's her Facebook page.
Yeah.
And then that person's gonna see it, and that's gonna give me credibility as being, oh my gosh, look at all these posts, and
Right.
look at these,
As opposed to one that
yeah,
was like
these
18 months
sales,
ago.
and look at this information she's putting out, and then
Yeah.
it's more like credibility.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
That
that's how
makes
I
sense.
look at it.
Okay.
Now Maria looks at it straight up as marketing, but she does a lot of things even beyond what we do together,
Right.
because she is not from this area. And so it might be really good to pick her brain too, because she's not from here. And so she really had to utilize social media to gain clients. And she has gained a lot of clients through social media, people who are moving into the area who find her.
Okay.
So pick her brain too and, see what she thinks.
Okay. Sounds
Or
great.
she's,
And she's
teaching.
teaching next week.
She's 26 and
Right.
does all the things that you and I are never going to want to do.
Right. I hear that. I did this before with my other business and I just wanted to get off of it. Now I have to get back on. It is what it is. But thank you. That helps clarify.
This is Destiny.
I don't get it either.
Don't get what, you're talking to them. Okay, what?
Want to meet at some point, dude? Maybe Monday before class?
Before this
Yeah.
class, yeah, that's
Alright.
fine. Yeah, so just a little bit early.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Good one.
All right, see you Monday.
Take care, guys.
Bye.
We really need some loud rock and roll music on right now.
Bye.
Yeah.
See you Monday.
Oh, so if I text somebody and ask them for their email address, and they text me back and give it to me, I also needed to add an activity to the timeline that says, on this day, I texted them and got their email address. So that I know when I've communicated with them. Oh, ho, ho. All right. Back to yesterday's list.
I know, it takes a little while to get into the habit of doing it all like at the same time.
Right?
I'm terrible at that. I do the same thing, like I'm like, da-da-da-da-da-da, and then I go back, and then I make a note about such and such, and then I start going again, and I'm like, wait, I didn't do this, and I have to go back and do that to all of them. make a note.
Yes, yes.
So mark when you talk to them, but also set yourself a reminder of when you want to talk to them again.
Okay.
Make a task, it'll pop up on the front of your command, and it'll say, call so-and-so, or text so-and-so, reach out to so-and-so, whatever you want it to be.
So I can add a calendar event. I don't want that. I can add a note or an activity. What am I adding?
You're gonna add an activity, and
Okay.
it's gonna be a task.
No, I mean, as far as telling command that I just did.
That you want
communicate.
as a note.
That's a
That'll
note.
be actually click activity real quick, because I think that's also, let's see.
Oh. and
Yeah, that tells, yeah, so you did a,
Text.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll have today's date, and then what, exactly, you got it, girl.
Love it.
And thank you. Just to give you guys a little inspiration, we send out birthday cards, just to some, I mean, not to everybody, but just, to a handful of people each month. And somebody called me last night and was so thankful and touched by having received a handwritten card. She said, I don't know when I got something in the mail last.
Seriously,
So, people like getting things in the mail.
love it.
Especially money. Send them $1 or $2.
Actually would be kind of cool. You open up a card and you got like $2 in there, I'd be like, sweet.
Okay, but the funny thing about $2 is that's what my grandma sent for a birthday gift in the mail, was $2. Like from the time we were 5 to the time we were 18, and then she stopped sending anything. But literally $2 the whole time. Inflation was not a thing for grandma. It was $2.
I love that so much. That actually would be I don't know if you can mail money. I don't know if that would be considered an incentive, but we send gift cards, so why would money be anything?
Right?
But that'd be so cute, because you could say, happy birthday, thinking of you. If you're wondering where $2 came from, this is what my grandma used to always send. You can make
Right.
it like a cute thing,
Right.
and they'd be like, oh my God.
This is true. You're going big on those note cards, dude.
I gotta take advantage of this free mail.
Right? For sure.
Well, selling goes in cycles. No, yeah, let's go that route. Selling goes in cycles, so everybody did texting and email, and then my email boxes are full, and people were like, yeah, my email's always full. They didn't. So now we're circling back around to mail.
Okay, I like it, and I'm getting there.
Yeah.
I wanna have my cards printed first. Surely, if I order them over the weekend, they'll be here within a few days, and then I can start writing notes and put my cards in.
Or I can just give you some of mine.
Right?
Let's put a referral agreement together.